I keep getting booted out because of these reminders. It's so annoying. I turned them off, and yet it still came on. That pick was very lucky. Let's be very clear here. Very lucky. The Raiders were looking good. I want to see this again. Oh, yeah, that just popped up right in the air. And then I thought the Broncos were going to smash into each other and not get it. And then Tillman has a good run. I'm back. I keep getting booted because of these reminders. It's so annoying. First 7 first downs of the game, Raiders. Last 7 first downs of game. So weird. Oh my God, bro, Knicks! Getting flush out of the pocket and a flag. Do you have YouTube's? Pass interference. The offense. The alerts are should just be on regular YouTube. I don't think you get it on the studio. I turned them off now. They're definitely off. But I turned it off on my one phone. It should be both phones because it should be the same account. I'm better than Dan Marino. I actually got that Josh Allen in me. Nah, more Baker Mayfield. Did he fumble it? Oh, they're saying he was down. The Raiders are saying, no, he was not down. Let's see this. Yeah, he's definitely down. Wow. 3rd and 18. What is this game right now? They just got this interception. Dobbins is out now. That's good. They're not even in field goal range. And another 3-yard gain. Did they get an interception and they're not going to get any points out of this? Bo Nix is under a lot of pressure in this game. They're generating a lot of pressure right now. Well, Jalen Hurts never gets the accolade argument. Now they're going to punt. He doesn't want to do the 57-yarder. Oh my God, and a terrible punt. This is so bad. Bad, 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 bad. Bad. I wrote in my notes, don't pick up the Broncos punter. I don't know if you should pick up anyone on Denver right now. No, famous, no. I wrote in my notes, we can't say Mahomes is better because of accolades, but say Hurts is not. That's true. It's a great point. That means that Jalen Hurts then is the second best quarterback in the NFL right now. like Bijan. The only smart thing is situation football right now. Sean Payton is doing terrible. Broncos as a whole ain't doing great. That trick play was rough. Football is a team sport. All that Super Bowl hubbub is stupid. If you're a difference maker, you're a difference maker. The score, 7-7. The under looking nice. My Super Bowl prediction is going to be the Cleveland Browns versus the New Orleans Saints. Nick Ray is definitely going to have a field day. Hold on, guys. It's almost bow time. 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Honestly, at this point, you are hoping that that's what happens. Because then you could just be like, this is crazy. You know, like, because then that would be the consistent narrative. You would just be like, what is happening? JCT, that is a great argument that I'm going to use. Yeah, man. Browns versus Saints. Let's go. It's going to happen. Genty with the ball, runs into a wall. Gets about 3 yards. 2:50 to go in the third quarter. 7-7. Brock Bowers has one catch for 31 yards. So they're doing a good job of taking him away. Second and 7. You need a defense to keep stepping up at the 22-yard line. Gino flushed out. Oh, and throws it. Doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. That is going to be that. Oh, there's no receiver in the area. That is a flag. Intentional grounding. That's a big loss. Spot foul. So how he was far back. Let's see where he was. That's like a 10-yard loss at least, right? Let me see where he is. That's 5. That's 10. That's like that's about a 10-yard loss. They're like at like the 9-yard line now, I think. Let me see where they are here. It's 3rd and 20. Yep, they're at the 10. Look at that math. 3rd and 20 and a handoff to Genty. Goes nowhere. And it wasn't even Genty. Oh, they're fighting now. Don't be pushing. Don't get penalties, you fools. It's 4th and long. Don't do anything dumb to get an unsportsmanlike conduct and give a first down. Do you think the Ravens can come back? I do. Constant 2nd and 20 due to penalties for Broncos. Everyone. Well, it's been a lot of, 2nd and longs and 3rd and longs and backed up in their own end zone. 4th and 16. It's on Sean Payton in the offense. The defense is playing lights out. Well, the defense has been playing good, but they also were lucky a few times too. The Raiders are just being the Raiders. Oh my God, it's a block, kid punt. You got to run it for a touchdown because the offense can't score touchdowns. There you go. Why was there no... when the punter dropped the ball earlier in the game, why was there no rush? Why were they not going for that before? It doesn't make any sense. This is a massive play. I think they're at like the 10-yard line now or something. Oh yeah, that was a straight up. Exactly. He just calmly put his hand right there. Julian, did you see when Geno Smith flipped off the fan who had a sign that said, I didn't see that. Now they're at the 11. Bo Nix. Whoa. What is this? What was that? What was that? Was that a messed up play, or was that the play? What was that? Was that a... They didn't... The broadcasters aren't even talking about it. I don't even know what I just saw there. What was that? Wow. They should have just handed the ball off. Bo Nix is really unsettled in the pocket. I agree. Yeah. He had him. But they should have handed the ball off, let the clock go into the fourth quarter. Then you could have had second and third down in the fourth quarter. That's what they needed. Well, they're not even going to get a first down here. I mean, it's a check down to go 1 yard. The Broncos fans are booing. The broadcast is giving the credit to the defense of the Raiders. He's saying, don't blame Bo and the Broncos. He's saying credit the defense. Oh, God. Field goal. It's good. 10-7, baby. Going into the fourth quarter. Let's go. Play calling atrocious. So Bo Nix playing great. Bo Nix has been playing elite. Bo Nix is the MVP right now of this game. Not a game. Not a game. Not a game. We're talking about practice. Chiefs always trolling. They're the roughest fan base. I'm about to go full Cowboys fan on my TV because of those offense. I know what you're saying now. I know you meant at first. Ooh. Dude, he needs to run. Bo Nix, please don't let an offense explosion happen under 26 in the fourth. It's probably not going to happen. I like your odds, Dan the man. Bo Nix has been pressured a lot this game. That much is true. It has not looked pretty. And their O-line is great. I think Bo Nix is actually playing well now. A lot of drops, pressures, garbage play calling. It's a mixed bag. I think he's not playing as bad as people want to make it look. I think he's playing okay. I don't think he's playing bad. He's certainly not playing good or great. It's just okay. What football team are you a fan of? I am a fan of the Houston Oilers. Did Raiders said they didn't want to sign Darnold because he was asking too much? I don't know. I thought I heard Tom Brady didn't want Sam Darnold. Joke's on him. Just goes to show you, you don't know everything about everything. Even the great Tom Brady makes mistakes. It's our quarter 3 Broncos TDs incoming. Bo Nix just missed a wide open touchdown pass. Nice. I'm a Bears fan. LMAO, you ever get tired of that question? All day, every day, baby. How have you been feeling about Caleb? My guess is you like him since your name is Caleb fan. Why is Sean Payton doing these stupid Q plays? I don't know, man. I don't have that answer. Did Brady make a mistake by cloning? I don't know. I mean, a mistake how? Jumping the shark kind of mistake. Who? Brady or the game play calling? Answer me, Join. Why is Sean calling garbage game? I don't know. I look to you for my answers. I don't have an answer right now. I gotta wait and see how this game unfolds. Why won't Denver just run the ball when it's 3rd and 1? I don't have the answer. He does ask Bo Nix just to keep throwing. Let me see this. I was gonna say that reps, but like you gotta, he wants to get him ready. But I mean, like, let's see here. He's thrown 22 times. They've run the ball 17 times. 2 of the times were from Bo. So they hand the ball off 15 times. It's not like they're not running the ball necessarily, but we got a whole 4th quarter. What's the third down conversion rate's got to be pretty awful. 3 for 11. They have 11 penalties. 11 penalties. A win is a win. Well, let's see if they got to win. All right, 1st and 10 at the 31. Geno Smith, play action. Oh, Geno gets tripped up. He just gets a yard. Nice to help him up. He just got a yard. Oh, Geno Smith now is banged up. Geno Smith is now on his knees. Geno Smith is out of the game. He's not coming back. He might have torn his Achilles. Oh, Geno. Now Kenny Pickett's in. Geno Smith is in agony. I think he's done for the game. He got barely tripped up. Yeah, he got up right away, then he dropped down. And then there's nothing that the defender did. Welcome back. 2 games, and now that's 2 games in a row. The other quarterback goes down. I had no idea Kenny Pickett was gone from the Browns. I thought he was still with the Eagles. No, I'm kidding. Kenny Pickett, man. He can play. What do you think about the Bears at Cincinnati game? I think that game was wild. That game was truly wild. Yeah, that's an Achilles. No one touched him. I don't know. It's my guess is, but I don't know. Everyone's tearing their Achilles now. It used to never happen, and now it happens literally. Basketball, football, I mean, it's just everywhere. Chiefs won every game last season, just like the Broncos have been winning this season, yet no one said, Jack, a win is a win. I get that argument, but I don't think that I would say that the Chiefs were playing better football than what the Broncos are doing, at least against what they're doing here, what they did against the Jets, and what they did against... I don't know. The Texans, Pickett, a wild card. We had Geno neutralized. Yeah, but I don't know, because Geno can at least move a little bit. Kenny Pickett is a lot more statue than you'd think. He looks like a big, strong guy, but like he looks a little awkward. Back with my Lamar debate left out. Is it a chance he can climb back into the MVP race? It's interesting. If he gets them into the playoffs, I could see them doing that, but like, I don't know. Like what if Drake May and the New England Patriots have the 1 seed? Do they give it to Drake May? Julian, I'm pout on my Broncos. Broncos are tough. Who is winning MVP? I think the MVP is such a joke. Ooh, he's limping though. If he's limping, I don't know how that's an Achilles necessarily. Is it his knee? And then he banged his knee on the turf, maybe? They're saying it's his knee. Kenny Pickett, baby, let's go. Show the Cleveland Browns should have kept you. And a handoff to Genty, who gets swallowed up right away for a loss of 2. 3rd and 11. 3rd and 11, let's go. This is why they get no media respect. The only thing they consistent in is playing atrocious offensive football. Yeah. I hate bias in MVP talk. Certain players won't get. I know, that's why I'm over the MVP talk. He missed games, but his numbers are so crazy. Who are you talking about? Tiny Hands Kenny. Yeah, you remember that? I remember that. Kenny Pickett. He's got 2 gloves on, too, right now. Oh, he lets it rip. Incomplete. Pass behind. That was a tough throw. Mahomes absolutely should not get MVP. JCT, why are you trying to trigger me right now? Why are you trying to get me worked up right now? I just feel like from Dumb and Dumber, our pets' heads are falling off. I just feel like I'm just in that loop. Watching this game. Who does? Kenny Pickett? Ooh, a nice deep punt. A flag. A flag. Jalen could win MVP this season. I don't think he'll win MVP because nobody thinks Jalen Hurts is good enough. Pickett is bleh, but I like him as a backup. He did good enough with Philly. I'm a Ravens guy, but I really am rooting for May to get the MVP. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. 1st down. It's the best way the Broncos can get some yards or through penalties. I only say that because I know the media. Chat, it's time. Go to town, Mahomes MVP. The Broncos looks terrible. The Broncos look amazing. I don't know what game you're watching. Nah, bro. Kenny got flipped by the ball. I don't know what you mean. Now I know you. It's week 10. If this offense had the capacity to get better, it would have happened by now. We are who we are. We are who they thought we were. We are who we thought they were. I'm not a mile high. Why are we acting like Mahomes has been bad? What's wrong with Mahomes MVP? Mahomes is clearly not the MVP. By no metric should he be the MVP. None. 0. It's not that Mahomes has been bad. I had Bowers going against Genty in the Broncos defense. What a game this is. All right, man. We are in the 4th quarter. Bo Nix with the ball. We are about to see if the 4th quarter magic is for real. Maybe Sean Payton just straight up has a 4th quarter playbook. It's like from The Waterboy. What is it? Like that little green notebook? Now we need to run it on the early downs. They need to score a touchdown and go up 2 scores. Let's see. 4th quarter, Bo, let's go. 4th quarter, Bo, let's go. 4th quarter, Bo, let's go. Also, Stafford has been better. Jalen Hurts has been better. Josh Allen has been better. All these other quarterbacks have better stats under that, and they have better records. So shouldn't they be the MVP then? Imagine Mahomes getting beat by a pumpkin in the playoffs. It'd be a late Halloween. Let's not forget they're playing the Raiders. The same Chiefs beat by 30-0. Oh, no. That means nothing. Mark, if you were talking to me, but it's not. Josh Allen has been better. What? Yep. Also, we have historically always used head-to-head matchups for MVPs for that to matter. Patrick Mahomes played awful. Josh Allen played elite. Geno Smith jogging out of the blue tent like he's fine. JCT's giving him a torn Achilles. Bo Nix with the completion. Look at that. First completion of the 4th quarter. How does that mean nothing? You're struggling with a team we beat easily. Dude, transitive property of congruence does not mean anything in the NFL. Literally nothing. You lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who almost beat the Jags. So, no. Bo Nix letting it air. Oh, my God. Why did you stop? He didn't have to stop. The ball, if he came back, what is he doing? Oh, a short week. That's what it is, just a short week for the Broncos. Third and 6. Oh, boy. Could you imagine if they don't get a third down here? Bo Nix flushed out immediately. Has to just throw it up. Unbelievable. Wow. And now Geno Smith is getting back out there. Oh, blocking the back. Blocking the back. Blocking the back. Flags. Blindside block. Blindside block. Thank you. I appreciate it. We have it. Used to head-to-heads for MVP recently. Lamar beat Allen, the regular last year. We haven't. Of course we have. Head-to-head isn't everything. Oh, it's John Cruz, #1 hater. Guy who just makes up lies about me. I think Joe Burrow could have definitely won the MVP last year. He played out of his mind. Bro, literally every single comment you leave on my channel are lies. Literally every single one. I don't understand a blocking from the back call when it's looks well because it was blindside. Dude, what is up with these names? Call me Bud, Chief, bro. Okay, buddy. Okay, pal. No, he thinks he's rage baiting me, but if you think someone like him has any effect on me personally, you're wrong. He wrote 2 things. You wouldn't have made this video if the Chiefs won, which is a lie, when the Bills beat the Chiefs. Congrats on yours and the Bills Super Bowl. He just makes up stuff. All right, they're at the 10-yard line. 1st and 10, 12:48 to go. Geno Smith looking healthy. Geno Smith landed rip to a wide open Tucker. You think Jalen Hurts is better than every non-Mahomes quarterback? You think have to argue if you're Tony Jones, you remember that Chiefs 50 years ago of your relevancy? Take a seat. John Cruz's Nick Wright burner account. I mean, listen, people can disagree with me all the time. I welcome it. Just don't lie about me. Don't tell lies. Genty. Slipping tackles for about a 4-yard gain. Jalen's not catching strays. Good night, Mark. 2nd and 6. At the 39. Geno Smith dropping back, letting it rip to another wide open Raider to lock it. And now Geno Smith is down again. Oh, man, this guy he's limping. Happy Thursday, Daniel. We'll see how happy it is in about 20 minutes. They're at the 42-yard line in Broncos territory. 1st and 10. Geno Smith looking comfortable. Hands the ball off to Genty, who runs to nowhere. Jalen is not better than Burrow or Allen or Lamar. I thought it was all about the rings, though. That's what you always say about Patrick Mahomes. So therefore, Jalen Hurts is better than those quarterbacks. That's what JCT said, and he's right. It's not about putting up a lot of stats. Players are judged by winning rings. End of discussion. All right, I'm not a ring guy either. So Josh Allen's better than Mahomes. Oh, goes nowhere for about a 1-yard gain. 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8. This is crucial right now. Geno Smith is in pain. Broncos and Vikings fan here. This pains to see such poor offense at home. Yeah, it's a rough game. No doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. People just saying anything in the chat. It's how the chat works. I think Jalen, over all of them, he rises to the top. What up, bro? What's going on, Joe? 3rd and 8. At the 40. Bowers in motion. Geno. Oh, he gets swallowed up. Oh, he almost gets sacked. Oh, wow. And the sack. Geno looked like he was about to get that throw off, and then I forget who that defender was, but had an arm. And now Geno's limping. Let me see this. If he was going to get that throw off, if it wasn't for that left hand stop. It was like a basketball block. See, he got it. He's about to throw. He was never going to get that throw off. That was great play. So, Julian, I can argue Mahomes is better than Brady, right? Since rings don't matter. But he's not, by no statistical metric. What about Aaron Rodgers? He's got a ring. Your under is so safe. There's no way anything is about to happen to that under. Brady never had meltdowns in Super Bowls. It's true. Also, Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs and Super Bowl. Oh, finally in the back of the end zone. I don't know if Geno's still playing. I don't know. The coach is talking to him. So it looks like he's going to be playing. I mean, they are still in this game right now. You know what's crazy? If they could score a touchdown here, they could cover. Bro, what am I watching here? Please, someone win. Well, someone has to. Brady lost to Manning twice. So does that make him better than Brady? Has Brady ever beat Peyton Manning? Answer that question. You tell me. You're talking about Eli. Okay. If you're talking about Eli, if Eli Manning had like 6 Super Bowls, then yeah, maybe you could make that argument. Eli Manning has 2 Super Bowls. How many Super Bowls does Tom Brady have? I lost count. I agree. Brady is the GOAT. Look at you speaking some truth. Bro, Mahomes not playing past like 35. Mahomes also not looking like Mahomes without Andy Reid. People are all over the place with these arguments. People saying Josh Allen is better than Jalen Hurts, which is true, but argue rings as to why Mahomes is over Allen. I know. They don't know what the rules. They don't know what rules they're playing with. Would it be crazy if this game ended in a tie? It would be. Remember, I donated $5.99. I appreciate it, Jesse. Truly. So as we figure this is an ugly game, another offensive point, it is. Mahomes has taken 2 of the worst kicking in Super Bowl history. It's true. Mahomes is already 30 years old. You just said Mahomes can't be better than Brady because he's lost twice to him. That was not my only argument whatsoever. So no. A turnover is going to happen in this quarter. By the Broncos or by the Raiders? The Broncos need to sustain a drive. Dude, the goalpost moves so much it can never stay upright. It just falls down. Bo Nix is about to score a touchdown here and lead the Broncos to glory. They're at the 20. Bo Nix. Man in motion. They always be twisting my words. Bo Nix calls hike. A nice little toss. A nice little screen pass where no blockers were in front for the screen. And they got, 5 yards, 4 yards? Mike Shanahan, Big Daddy himself. I think this might be the worst game of Bo Nix's career. It is absolutely not. Rings don't matter. Pre-snap reads, decision-making, tight window throws, and ball safety defines elite quarterback. Who did Tom Brady call the gold standard? You literally said Mahomes isn't better than Brady because Brady beat him in the playoffs. That's not what I said. That has never been my argument. Mike Shanahan looks unimpressed. He's seen better games. Brady also has better stats as well. Has done it with worse supporting cast. It's not just rings. Bo Nix some trash, and so is Payne, holding this team back severely. So you're saying the coach and the quarterback, so besides that, they're a great team right now? Besides Bo Nix and besides Sean Payne, this team's ready to go. Brady became the GOAT versus the Falcons when they came back and solidified his position with the Buccaneers Super Bowl, but Brady, in all honesty, was a system quarterback in his early career. If Tom Brady's a system quarterback, Patrick Mahomes is a system quarterback. 3rd and 5. It's an interception, Dan the man. Off the hands. That was not Bo Nix's fault. That wasn't Bo Nix's fault. Are you watching the game? It literally just hit Franklin in the hands. It was the most basic pitch and catch. I mean, it just literally it was a perfect throw. They're not in the red zone, but they're at the 30 or 40. Yeah, they're at the 45. And now Genty with like a 7-yard run. But it still don't help Bo. The drops have been an issue, as Kurt is talking about here. I don't want to tie. This is a rough one. I don't know if that's the easiest pick of the week. The easiest pick of the week might be the one that the Broncos had today. Genty, y'all, they were trying to rip it out of his hands. If he didn't try to rip it out of his hands and just tackle him, it would have been 3rd and short. Defense has lost its juice. They can't believe these wide receivers. So offense is the only thing that matters when talking supporting cast. I'm pretty sure having multiple top 10 defenses out of your career matters. Okay, I'm pretty sure everyone told me that Patrick Mahomes carried the Kansas City Chiefs to a Super Bowl in 2023 and 2024 when they literally had an elite defense and held Lamar Jackson to 10 points. Really? And held Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins to 7 points. This is the goalpost. This is the goalpost moving. 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 Where did I say Brady didn't have help? Never once said Brady didn't have help. Never once. I said Tom Brady had the best defensive head coach in NFL history during a defensive era. I have been very consistent with my takes. Yeah, it was an interception because Franklin decided to catch the ball off his armpit and just popped it in the air. Dude, Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl against Jimmy Garoppolo. What are you talking about? And he beat Brock Purdy, where there's now a quarterback controversy with him and Mac Jones. Do y'all hear yourselves right now? Oh, and he gets it off. 3rd and long. How long is this field goal now? 4th and 6. This Broncos defense is going to be tired come January. Is Geno out there just to hand the ball? No, he's throwing it. Don't forget, Mahomes has had the refs. Let's see this. So now this is going to be what, like a 50-yarder? I don't know where they are. A 48-yarder. So Brady can control how good his defense is? There's no wind. 48-yarder. He kicks it. Oh, he missed it. 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 Did you see that one woman just go like this to her son, and her son's just like, oh, wow, this game. Wow. 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 This game literally has everything. When you actually think about it, this game literally has everything. I know when we say that a great game, when we talk about like this game had it all, it had big plays and this and that. This game does technically have everything. Dude, are you kidding me? The Broncos have had a laundry list of quarterbacks and coaches. The Raiders have been an absolute joke. The Chargers have had some of the worst, have had head coaches that will never be head coaches in the NFL ever again. What? Now you're trying to argue that he's been playing in a great division? Again, you guys are just making stuff up. It's genuinely hilarious. Since you guys think Lamar Jackson is a choker and Josh Allen is not good and also chokes, Tom Brady went up against better quarterbacks. He had to beat literally Patrick Mahomes to beat Peyton Manning. Oh, okay, sure. Well, that's what Chiefs fans say, though. And the Broncos have been trash. And the Raiders have been trash. JWL has a better shot at being an NFL coach than some of the Chargers' old coach. That's what I'm saying. See? Bentley gets it. I could have been a Broncos quarterback, too, during that run. Put me in. I'm a lefty, but I can let it rip. Yeah, they overuse choking. I would assume Nix is going to drop in your weekly quarterback mountain. Not when he scores with his fourth quarter touchdown, baby, to ice the game because he's got ice in his veins. AFC West was terrible every year except the last two. The Jets and the Dolphins and the Bills were terrible, bro. I'm not arguing that the Jets and the Dolphins and the Bills were good. I literally have a video where I discussed that both Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes have benefited from bad divisions. Maybe Bo's tired. It's late and he's like 37. Bo Nix has sugar in his tank, not ice in his veins. Hey, man, blood sugar. You need that blood sugar. Bo Nix hands the ball off. Dobbins finds the edge. Takes it for a good 7 yards. Clock moving. 8-yard gain. Dude, the Broncos, first off, the Raiders only have 2 timeouts. You literally just need, you have the 2-minute warning. You need a couple first downs here. And then the game's over. Second and 2. Gonna hand the ball off. Hands the ball off. Oh, and he gets about a half a yard or a yard. Now it's going to be 3rd and short. Oh, my God. And it's going to be inside 3 minutes to go. I don't know. It's 3rd and 1. I mean, you got to get a first down here, yet there's no sense. I mean, that one pick was not on Bo Nix. That is very obvious. Oh, boy. You're asking him to throw. Beautiful throw and more. Go, take it. Woo! That's what Bo Nix does, baby. That was a call by Sean Payton. Wow. He stepped out of bounds. Oh, you're asking Bo Nix to make that throw. He couldn't control himself, though. He ran out of bounds. Wow. Bo Nix with the little... That's a tough throw to make. Off Crosby. Whoa, that's offsides. He was offsides. That play should have been blown dead. Encroachment. You know what really lost this game was Pete Carroll going for it on 4th down rather than punting. Thank you, Michael. Come on, bro. Prove Nick wrong. 17 for 29, 134 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 picks. Only 1 pick was not his. More like inconsistent play. Pete Carroll, time has passed him. He's seen better days. 1st and 5. Ready. And a handoff to Dobbins. Going to get that 1st down or just short? No, it's a little short. Half-yard shy actually helps the Broncos. No way Bo can prove Nick wrong consistently playing horrible in games. Dude, Bo Nix has been balling. He just made the throw to ice the game. Oh, my God. What are you doing? He got short. Why did he take that lane? Oh, and they're calling the timeouts now. Pete is done. You're right. It was really Dan Quinn. We can't do this. We praised Baker Mayfield for a similar stat line in a game. Who are you talking about? We can't do what? What similar stat line? If Bo Nix has been balling, then I'm watching the wrong game. You have been. This game has been awful. I have money off of it, so it was worth the pain. Y'all didn't praise Baker. All right, 3rd and inches. Oh, Bo Nix forcing himself through with the 1st down. Look at that. And he got the 1st down with his legs. I wish Denver could have gotten a wide receiver at the den. They should have done something. What do you think of the Jets draft capital? Hey, they're hitting that reset button. They're rebuilding right now. The Broncos, 10-7. If the Broncos score here and they go up 17-7, I mean, they covered. Bro, put the stat line in as to criticize him, but Baker had similar stat line against the Commanders, and Nick Wright made excuses for him. Which, I don't know when you're talking about. You talking about last year? I don't know. Denver can't lose. You're saying 1st round exit. They're 8-2. That's the game. You're easily impressed with Knicks doing the bare minimum. I don't think you guys understand sarcasm, which is not surprising coming from someone who just lies. The Bills had Diggs. Let him Josh won. Blah, blah. The Bills had Diggs and let him. Josh won an MVP, and the narrative was y'all didn't need one. Y'all, what? 178, 1 turnover in a wild card game. John Cruz rage baiting. The wild card game, we lost due to special teams. We should beat the Commanders. Broncos, 7-game win streak incoming. Good win. Great win. Tough, gritty win. Let me see this right now. This is what they have. 1 interception, 1 punt block, 9 penalties, 1 missed field goal, 1 touchdown negated by penalty. I got to write that down. 1 INT. 1 punt blocked, which I think they only got a field goal on. 9 penalties. 1 missed field goal. 1 TD negated by penalty. Another win in spite of Bo and Peyton. Handing the ball off. Dobbins in the first down. You know what's crazy? They'd score another touchdown here. They'd actually win 17-7. What haven't they done? Every stat box filled. He wasn't, but look at Josh numbers. Should I record my post-game clip with you guys here? Should I do that? You're still watching the recording of the game? Whoa. Work on your delivery of sarcasm. Is not translating, big guy. All right, bud. Please leave your comment in the comment jar. This was an amazing game. I loved every minute of it. That's what's going to be crazy. Come on, give me a good spot to pause it on. And the fireworks going off in Denver. You guys ready for this? Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. This is going to be weird. I've never recorded a video as I do the live stream. It's going to be weird. I'm out of my element right now. You guys, I feel the pressure. But if you guys say things, I can read them. What do you guys want me to talk about? Stage fright, exactly. Awful game, but I hit my under. And that's all that matters. AP got screwed. He doesn't need a dominant number one. He showed that the last 2 years. You guys are talking about lots of different stuff. Are you confident going into next week? Thoughts on Broncos? I'm about to give my thoughts. I'm about to make this post-game video right now. Let's go. The Denver Broncos absolutely, positively dominated, destroyed, owned the Las Vegas Raiders. I wish I could say that, but I cannot say that. I cannot tell a lie because that is not what happened. I don't know what that game was. I live streamed that game. I am currently live streaming right now. 10-7. Listen, the Broncos are finding ways to win. It's important. It's crucial. Thursday night games are weird. We have consistently seen that Thursday night games are weird. They're tough. Typically, the home team, though, significantly benefits. Although the home team here, the Denver Broncos, benefited, but it was more because of the Raiders' really bad play. The defense showed up, a lot of key sacks, Geno Smith, but that's not a big takeaway for me at this point because of who the opponent is. Bo Nix's box score, I think, is a lot worse than what it shows, especially because the one interception was hardly his fault, but the other interception was absolutely his fault. But 16 for 28, 150 yards, 5.4 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and a 54 passer rating. You know, they rushed for 84 yards. You expect better. Bo Nix made some really great throws at times as well. Like, that's the thing. It's just been a little inconsistent. The play calling, a little bizarre and inconsistent. That one trick type play on a 3rd and 1. It's like, kind of like, why? What are you doing right now? But the score was 10-7. And it was a 3-point game in a game where the quarterback went 16 for 26, 143 yards, 5.5 yards per attempt, 0 touchdowns and 1 interception, and 6 sacks, and a 60 passer rating. And quite frankly, Pete Carroll really blew this game because he should not have gone for it on 4th down. He did the QB sneak on 3rd down and then went for it on 4th down, gave the Broncos great field position, and I think that's when they actually scored the touchdown. And then you had the blocked punt, which then directly led to the field goal, and that's it. That's all it went. That's all how it went. Penalties through the roof. 11 penalties. 11 penalties. They were benefited because the Raiders had 11 penalties, but 1 for 3 in the red zone. You know, I mean, again, 5 for 15 on 3rd down. It was, these are the games that you have to start playing higher quality football because you are going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I just promise you that Patrick Mahomes is not going to have a box score like this. I promise you that Andy Reid is not going to make bizarre decisions within the game. I promise you Spags is not going to drop the ball. The one interception that the Broncos even had was also a gift by Genty, who just propped it up. Now, they got him back. I think it was Franklin who also then popped it back up for the interception as well. But I mean, I don't know. Honestly, the Raiders had 1 interception, 1 punt blocked, 11 penalties, 1 missed field goal. Oh, yeah, and the missed field goal. The 1 touchdown that was negated by a penalty that really had nothing to do with the play. And then there you go. And yet the score is still 10-7. When you get that many gifts throughout the course of a game, you just expect it to be better. And listen, games like this and scores like this make a lot more. You can defend them a lot more if they don't happen at the sheer volume that they're happening right now with the Broncos. That is the more frustrating part. Yeah, they're finding ways to win, undeniably, right? But at some point, you just have to be better, to look better, to play better. And I really think, especially offensively, like, everyone's on the hook here. I keep seeing everybody want to blame Sean Payne, or people want to blame Bo Nix, or people want to blame Bo and Sean, or they want to blame the receivers, and it's like, it's everyone right now. Bo Nix, again, obviously did not play flawless, had a couple not great plays, but then he makes some great plays that are then dropped. Right, the Franklin interception, Bo Nix made a beautiful pass where he got flushed out of the pocket right away, was running for his life, throws a gorgeous pass to Evan Ingram, and he just drops it. Like, those are the plays that you got to come up with. He also has to be better and not throw that deep ball in like double coverage and get that interception on 2nd and I think it was 2nd and long to close out the half. Like, you got to not do that as well. But like I said, this is a team effort. And then I also don't know what that play call was either in that moment. So, and again, there's many moments where there's like a refusal to run. But even to ice the game here, Bo Nix made a gorgeous pass to, I forget now if it was Franklin or Sutton at that point, on 3rd and short. And again, make no mistake about it, Bo Nix had to adjust his arm angle, just had to get around Max Crosby. Like, he's making high-level stuff, but then there's just not enough layups either. Anytime they want to do a screen pass or any of these checkdowns, they go nowhere. Anytime Bo Nix goes to check the ball down, it gets like a yard. Or there's times that they try to set up the screen, and then there's like no blockers there. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's a weird situation, and you know, the Raiders have been playing better recently, technically, but not at a point that it makes it feel that you could say, well, listen, you got a great Raiders game. And the broadcast, though, did talk about it. They kept saying, give credit to the Raiders defense, give credit to the Raiders defense, give credit to the Raiders defense. And yeah, that's part of it. They pressured, Bo Nix was under pressure and under duress a lot throughout the course of this game. I mean, he was running for his life a lot more than I typically see, which is fine, but there were still plays to be made. That's the thing. There were still plays to be made. I'm going to read some of these comments because, like I said, I'm live streaming right now. Yep. Everybody just keeps talking about how Bo Nix is terrible, how Sean Payton is terrible. It seems like many people do not like Bo Nix right now. And Sean Payton, that seems to be the main ones. Yeah, man. But I mean, right now, the Broncos are a top team in the NFL. They're 8-2. Like, that's the thing. They're finding ways to win, which again is important, and that significantly helps you. But you know what's crazy? Mike Vrabel, you know, guys, I said this days ago, last week, where I said you either are or you aren't. That is what I kept saying. You either are or you aren't. And I said that all about the Broncos. You either are or you aren't. You are or you aren't. And then Mike Vrabel came out and said the exact same thing. He said you are or you aren't. Can you believe it? I'm out here giving you guys speeches that literally coaches and Super Bowl winners are given. Yeah, that's what I do. And so you either are or you aren't. Yeah, you found a way to beat the Giants. Yeah, you found a way to beat the Jets. Yeah, you found a way to even beat the Eagles. But now it's the Chiefs. Now it's in division. Now it's absolutely crucial. Can you come away with the win and beat the Kansas City Chiefs? You found a way to eke out this win against the Raiders. And you now have the schedule. As it loads. Where you're going up against Kansas City, and then you're going up against Washington, and then the Raiders, the Packers, the Jags, Kansas City, Chargers. You're right there. You're literally like, all you do is got to split with KC. Take care of Washington with a backup quarterback. Take care of Las Vegas again. You could lose to Green Bay, beat the Jags, lose to the Chargers. Like, you still have room to lose games and still be a top team, still win the division. But you also have the ability to literally kick the Kansas City Chiefs out of the playoffs. You have that power. You beat the Chiefs in week 11 and week 17. I mean, that is a devastating blow to the Kansas City Chiefs playoff hopes. You have the chance to pay that back. Can they? I don't know. How do you feel a sense of confidence? That's a tough one. It's a tough one. But that's what you're working with right now. And the defense has been playing great. The offense absolutely needs to be better. Sean Payton absolutely needs to be better. Bo Nix absolutely needs to be better. Franklin, the receivers, everyone, anyone whose task it is to catch the ball needs to be better. Needs to be better. Because I think really it starts with Kansas City. You got to go through Kansas City, even though you have the better record, even though you are leading. Kansas City is obviously a different beast, obviously. So that is going to be the ultimate. Where do you stand here right now? Who are you within the NFL? Who are you within the AFC? Who are you within the AFC West? That's what it all absolutely positively gets boiled down to. And we find out next week. So still plenty of work to be done. plenty of work to be done. Still a win, still necessary, needed, but it's time to get some distance away from the ugly, weird, tough wins. It's time to get some separation from that. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Denver Broncos win over the Las Vegas Raiders in just a dramatic, just who's who type of game? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time. We did it, guys. We did it. Look at my super chat. JCT, thank you so much. Point out that Nick Wright credited Chiefs for wins like this, so he can't downplay Denver. You mean my post-game clip? I'll discuss that tomorrow, because I'll be making clips for the herd and first things first. I got to make sure I post this now. What am I going to call this? Should I write Denver Broncos dominate Las Vegas Raiders? What should the title be? Denver Broncos destroy Las Vegas Raiders. Denver Broncos insane win. It was an insane win. Insane win over Las Vegas Raiders. NFL post-game. Doesn't count if you weren't born yet. I don't know what you guys are saying. Hold on. I'll be able to look at this chat in a second. JCT, I do really appreciate you tipping the $5. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Truly. Hold on. I can't see because my phone's in the way. JWL not making another one with that RB. Oh, okay. All Derek's and Brandons are handsome geniuses. What is happening right now? Denver Broncos, there it is. Denver Broncos insane win over Las Vegas Raiders. That was quite the game. Okay, it is uploaded. We did it. We did it indeed. I still got to eat. I got to eat. Bo Nix is horrible. I already know that. Still beat Jalen, though. I mean, Jalen Hurts literally is a Super Bowl MVP. So, come on now. My question is, why was there a play where there was a screen set up that was good to go and Bo Nix just didn't throw to the receiver and then just did nothing and dirted it? I don't know what you mean. Kelly Stafford lit that. I think Sean Payton needs to get an OC. We got lots of takes flying around here right now. Shut down the Raiders. and build an expansion team. Why do you keep talking about Stafford? What are you saying right now? Did someone say Sean Payton needs to get an OC? They do know there is one there. Yeah, but I don't think that OC is not calling the plays. Travis, what did you think about that game? Bo wasn't terrible. He had like 5 or 6 drops. He did have a lot of drops. Bo Nix didn't play great, but there were a lot of drops. Eagles fans can talk all we want because our teams got rings. They actually beat the Kansas City Chiefs when it matters. It was a play with 3 blockers, and I believe the RB did a little wheel behind. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'd have to see the play. I really don't remember exactly. All right, if you keep mentioning Kelly Stafford, I'm going to have to mute you. No, they're not, but there is an OC and is very much involved in the game plan. How do you know? Are you in the room with him, Travis? Nobody knows the secret recipe. Bentley, Broncos have more rings than the Eagles. Quiet that down. Who's got more rings in the last 20 years? Kelly, Stafford thinks QB wins are a stat. Yeah, from 40 years ago. Uh-oh. We got Broncos, Eagles fighting now. Eagles won 2 Super Bowls. The Broncos won 3. Ingram got to keep grinding. He looks flustered and dropping passes. Tough win to watch, but a win is a win. It was definitely a tough one. The play calling. Bo Nix, Troy Franklin are all horrible. Denver D-line is crazy good. Kelly Stafford on-time appointment. 2015 is 40 years ago. Broncos won rings before gold was discovered. Eagles choked against the Broncos. Philly fans need to pipe down. The Eagles literally won the Super Bowl last year. What are you guys talking about right now? The Eagles literally beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Dude, the Eagles have won 2 Super Bowls since 2015. They've been to 3. What are we saying right now? The Eagles are defending champs. Can we give this Denver defense a name? Yeah. Oh boy, Will is in the house commenting about Patrick Mahomes. Brett, this is the worst game I've ever seen. I don't know about that. Not the worst game. I'd say that Jets was worse. I'd say that Jags, what's it called? Jags, Rams game was worse. Yeah, he's writing a million comments on the Kansas City Chiefs video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 separate comments on the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. PM 15. Y'all fired Andy Reid, and he has more Super Bowls than y'all franchise. Hi. Oh, brother. This is getting crazy. Yeah, they literally needed John Elway and Peyton Manning to win. Eagles out there winning with Tom Brady. Beating Tom Brady with Nick Foles. Eagles couldn't even win a Super Bowl with the great Andy Reid, who had more rings. Oh my gosh, dude. young conqueror. I'm telling you, man, you're losing the battle here. I promise you that one. This is a game that you can't be happy about, but glad you came out with a W. You know, normally, Travis, I'd say sure, but this isn't a one-off game right now. This is consistent. He didn't have to turn into Prime Manning in the fourth quarter. He was just chill. He just was like, I'm going to take care of everything. Don't worry. A team that's finally got over the hump and a franchise that's been to 7. I'm not losing anything. You're losing everything. You're turning into a Dallas Cowboy fan right now. You're talking about rings that the Denver Broncos won before the internet was invented. If Broncos fans want to talk about old rings, let's talk about 55-10 to 84 Niners. Bo Nix likely won't be the starter in 2 years. Denver's lucky the Raiders are absolutely... Bo is Shane Falco. Hey, he wins with them, though. The replacements. Yes, I agree, but it's hard to win the NFL, so that's about as happy as one could be about this win. Yeah, Young, you're in the division rounds. Oh, God, please don't go Cowboys, bro. It's not worth it. 1 in 2015. The others aren't even in the 2000s, I don't think. Yeah, it was like 1997 or something. Oh, my God, not a Cowboy fan. I quit. That broke my heart. Oh, my God, not a Cowboy fan. I quit. That broke my heart. It doesn't count if you weren't born yet. I'm an Eagles fan and giving Bo Nix props. Remember when Seattle beat the number 1 offense? That was a beatdown. That was one of the worst Super Bowls ever. I was so upset about that. I was rooting for the Broncos that game. I just wanted a great Super Bowl. Have any of you ever watched Bo Nix play last 2 years? Y'all delusional. Let's hear how Cowherd. Let's see how Cowherd defends Bo Nix tomorrow. All these haters bringing up old Broncos L's when we win. Why didn't the Raiders do something at the trade deadline like the Jets? Yeah, I don't know. I was rooting for the Broncos. I didn't like Richard Sherman. I didn't like Richard Sherman when he was yelling and fighting with the 49ers. Thanks for your unbiased content. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Should Washington sign Taylor Heineke? Dude, Washington should also just lose lots of games so they can get a good draft pick. Cowherd, Sean Payton is a scheme genius. I am curious what he's going to say. Okay, so let's stop talking about the past. This season, which is current, Broncos 1, Eagles 0. Okay, let's talk about who won a Super Bowl within the last 8 months. Eagles 1, Broncos 0. That's fine. Just start with 2025. Also, the woman on primetime was so biased against Denver. Her and Gonzalez were unbearable. I don't remember. Sean Payne, unaccountable. I wish I had money, but zero, so can't donate me. No, you're all good. Every season is its own entity. Well, okay, how do you feel about the Broncos this season? You said they're bad. You don't like them. You're furious. Who's playing better right now? Bo Nix or Jalen Hurts? Broncos literally seem just to play to the level of their opponents. I don't know. Not the same Eagles team, so I'm not talking about last season. Hurts said we ain't losing. But I get who's playing better this season, Jalen Hurts or Bo Nix? Are you a student? Because generally they are being broken. Huh? Bo Nix is playing better. Yeah, okay. Hurts playing better than most. Very true. 1 is equal to Drew Lock, and 1 has an RB as a quarterback. Bro, come on, you're better than that. Bo Nix just threw another Bo picks. Now I need a Bo fix. Okay. Hurts, but Nix is top 10. So what is Jalen Hurts then? Now it's all about head-to-head? That's the only thing that matters is head-to-head? Dang. I think a lot of people aren't happy about that Bo Nix, about the Denver Broncos game. When have Hurts ever thrown for 4,000 yards and 35 touchdowns? Jalen Hurts literally won the Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP. What are you making up right now? Name another quarterback who has done what Jalen Hurts has done in the Super Bowl. Oh, wait, you can't. Jalen Hurts, multiple Super Bowl records, multiple rushing records, multiple passing records in the Super Bowl. Highest completion percentage, highest passer rating. Highest total yards per game. Come on. What are we doing here? Would the Denver Broncos be a better team right now with Jalen Hurts as the quarterback? Yes or no? I'm not even doing it. Is a team accomplishment a Super Bowl MVP? How about him setting the rushing record? How about him setting passing records in the Super Bowl? Is that a team record? I don't think so. When Mahomes won his first Super Bowl, he threw for 25 touchdowns. His numbers were slashed. I don't know why you think passing for 4,000 yards is like this thing that means something. That means like that's how good you are. Like I don't know what you're actually implying here. And Jalen Hurts would have thrown for 4,000 yards in 2022 if he didn't get injured. That was a bad game, Alberto. No question about it. Jalen Hurts became the first quarterback in Super Bowl history with at least 300 passing yards and 70 rushing yards and set a record for rushing touchdowns by a quarterback with 3. He has over 300 total yards per game, 109.4 passer rating, a 73.3% completion percentage, 262.5 passing yards, 8.8 yards per attempt. What are you trying to say right now? How is no one mentioning how awesome Allen is for Denver? Everyone's really obsessed with Bo Nix and Jalen Hurts right now, Travis. That's what we're talking about for some reason. Broncos fans, more delusional fans. Sad thing is that Nick will have a field day with this. Oh, he definitely will have a field day. Who do you have winning the Chiefs-Broncos game? I'm certainly not right now going to say the Denver Broncos are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know how anyone can feel good about this right now. Who's good checking in from you? What's good from checking in? What's going on, Brandon? How you doing? Let's be honest. If this is Bo Nix's sophomore slump at 8-2, I won't complain. It's not about the record. It's about the production. Allen is one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL. How many sacks and pressures does he have now? I have to look, especially after this game, because those numbers don't get updated until like tomorrow. Hi, Julian. Nick wrong is a joke. He's biased. It's not funny. Yes, where is Jane Daniels right now? Well, Jane Daniels is injured. What I'm saying, bro, I don't understand why no one seems to understand when you have a dominant run game, you're only going to throw the ball 22 times or less. Now he can throw, and how he can throw. Yeah. Also, when you're winning. Hey, dude, who you got Monday night? Eagles-Packers. That absolutely should be the Eagles' game to win. They're the ones that have been playing better than the Packers. But the Packers definitely feel embarrassed and frustrated right now. And the Eagles are coming off that bye. I'm curious to see what A.J. Brown looks like. Hurts has been in a run-first offense his whole career. What Lamar did was very rare. Exactly. He's injured. Your best attribute is availability, and I don't want to hear about Bo having a slump. 46 sacks so far is wild, too, behind the 85 Bears and Purple People Eaters. JCT slice. Lamar is king of not winning the big games. Jared Goff threw 4,000 on a run-first team. They were not a run-first team. Broncos can't play like tonight and expect to beat the Chiefs. I agree. If you guys get offended by Nick Wright, that's your own fault. MNF should be a good game, 2.5. Yeah, the Eagles are underdogs in that game on the road. Yeah, the Packers have definitely been inconsistent. And that falls on Matt LaFleur a lot. Yeah, the Lions absolutely are not run first. I don't know what he's talking about. Ben Johnson is not run first. And neither was Sean McVay. It's so funny when I watch your videos and you roll your eyes at some of Nick's takes. It's funny because you like when I roll my eyes or I don't know, I'm confused. Nick Wright is a Chiefs homer. It's true. Man, 2 weeks ago and even less than a week, Bo was a godsend, and now people are saying he's horrible. Well, how do you feel about him, Travis? But anyway, enough of my nonsense. The game was tough. We need more consistency at QB. Bo seems like he's regressed. Sean at times tries to get too cute at the wrong time, and it irritates my soul. I can feel your soul irritated right now, and you're taking it out on Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, and I don't know why. You should be dreaming of the Broncos playing like the Philadelphia Eagles, because the Philadelphia Eagles dominated the very team that you need to beat, the Kansas City Chiefs. You should be taking a page out of their book. Did someone say that Sean McVay and Ben Johnson are not run-first coaches? They were saying that Jared Goff was in a run-first offense. You did. At least you're admitting that it's nonsense. Listen, once you start going back to the 90s, you know, that's why I said that's what Dallas Cowboys fans, they're like, yeah, we won Super Bowls in 1992. And it's like, oh, did you? That's so cool. You used to get AOL CDs in the mail. If your Super Bowls came before Napster, I don't want to hear about it. Also, how about them Buffalo Bills? We are back. Definitely looking good. Nix is exactly what he's been showing all year. That deep, that was a prayer, is an example of him just heaving the ball up and hoping. Yeah, that was a really bad decision. That's like a frustrating decision because that's a decision that you just don't need to make. Jalen Hurts is risk adverse. He's been really smart. Jalen Hurts. But I'm irritated. Both of them are better than that. They do need to be better. I agree. It's funny how the Eagles always seem to come up with in conversations that have nothing to do with them. That's because they win. That's what happens with the Chiefs too. It's like when you keep winning, when you're the best, when you've been the best team in the NFL. You know how many people were actually mad? Like, listen, on one side, a lot of people were happy that the Eagles beat the Chiefs, but it also hurt their soul a lot too because they're like, man, look what the Eagles did to the Chiefs, and people are thinking, why can't we do that? Like at one side, the Bills are happy, but they're also like, man. And the Lamar Jackson fans are kind of happy, but they're also like, man, Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl MVP and not Lamar Jackson. And then just round and round we go. Broncos might have the best team in the league. You think they have the best team in the league? NFL, don't worry, Young. I'm going to still cheer for the Broncos versus Chiefs no matter how much you hate on them. Howie's definitely big time. Okay. Best defense in the league? It's definitely good. It's definitely great. No doubt about it. Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, is an elite game manager, but also other elite other things. Broncos ain't judging about. Do you have a team? Again, new to the channel. No, I'm just out here trying to cover every team I can. Now we got the Seahawks in here. No one would beat the Eagles in that Super Bowl. They played lights out. It's true. Worst 8-2 NFL team in NFL history. When any other high-end elite QB doesn't make it to the Super Bowl, it's because they need more help. Then Hurts makes it, and he has a super team. What are your thoughts on the Chiefs not making any moves during the trade? You know, the Chiefs are always in such a tough situation because of, you know, what they typically always have to do. You know, where you're always constantly drafting, the amount of money in any given moment that you're going to have to pay someone like a Patrick Mahomes, you know, and also the whole like go all in type situation when you know that you're always going to be a contender, or you know, outside of injuries, that you're always going to be a contender with Mahomes and Andy. There's no sense that this window is closing. There's no sense of like, hey, we got a team, we just got to go for it right now. You obviously you're going to go for it and you're going to make moves, but I don't know if you have to, you never have to risk the future necessarily. You never have to even remotely risk the future. You also know players are always going to want to go there. You're never going to have to worry about getting free agents over there. You've never felt so bad after a win. You didn't feel worse after the Jets game? That's why it's going to be interesting to see what happens against the Chiefs for the Broncos. I think Hurts winning it confused people because he's not the best of the QBs, but he's still really good. The game hit different. Left out the Raiders or the West Coast Jets. Yeah. I'm really hoping we're just thinking ahead of the Chiefs. I don't know. Have you been thinking ahead of the Chiefs since the Jets? What's your take on Bo Nix? I love him, but oof. I think this was a tough game for everyone involved. Julian knows I felt worse after the Jets game. My apologies, Julian. That's okay. That was a morning game too. So you were yelling at me in the morning. You were like, bad take. I should go try to find what you said after that game. I'm going to go find it right now. Oh, man, this video had a bunch of comments in it, too. I'll be able to find it easy from you. Let's see. You want to see what Young Conqueror said after the New York Jets game? Let me find it. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, Zen Dude, I see your comment too. Are you still in here? Here we go. Jesus, give this team some credit. The Broncos are still learning to be a great team, and part of that is finding ways to win close ones, which is already better than last season. FYI, Julian, the Jets were number 5 against the run coming into this game, so quiet down about the run game. It was a good win. It's the NFL. Literally zip it. And then I said, yeah, how about you don't tell me to zip it? Literally, who do you think you are? My God, so bizarre. I was also feeling feisty, too. I was definitely like, don't you tell me to zip it. It's too early for this. I'm waking up watching this game. Where were they, in London or whatever? And he said, bad take is a bad take. Sounded just like Nick Wright. I forgot that. That's what you said to me. Sounded just like Nick Wright. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. It's funny that I said to you, how about you don't tell me to zip it? Literally, who do you think you are? I was definitely feeling like I'm not about this nonsense right now. Sometimes I'm always just like, whatever, who cares? Comments are comments. But especially when it's someone like you who I talk to a lot and there's mutual respect, I'm like, how's bro gonna tell me to zip it? Like, what? A bad take is a bad take. Sounded just like Nick Wright. Sounds like that take that I had for that New York Jets game was perfect and has aged perfectly. So funny. Comment section never lies. Broncos can get 4 to 5 sacks against Mahomes and stop the run. Should be a good game. Yeah, but what can their offense do? I appreciate the love for Bo and the Broncos, Lucas, but we got to be realistic. Nick's confidence is gone right now. I don't know if his confidence is gone right now. Oh, I always got the receipts. But you're going to get the Chiefs' best punch. No doubt about it. That's in Denver too, right? I'm kind of not scared about next week, though. Sean be having the Broncos ready for at least the Chiefs consistently. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly. Young sounds like me after 5. That was a tough day for Philly for sure. I don't know how Dobbins was okay after that tackle. Looked like the knee. He's always getting banged up. By the way, the Raiders' D was atrocious. I don't think the Raiders' D was bad. Tonight, you're saying? Against the Broncos? We can all agree. You don't like Wilds? Yeah, I don't see the Broncos beating the Chiefs, who are just coming off their bye. It's a tough game, no doubt. Yeah, Sean will have a game plan for KC, up to Bo to execute. We will see. Sean should give up play calling. Tonight was hurtful to watch. I don't think you'll be hard pressed to see Sean Payne give up play calling. 20-17 Broncos win. Let's see how that ages. Would you say you feel more confident or less confident about the Raiders after this game? It was definitely an ugly game. More confident about the Raiders in terms of like what they can achieve this year, or just like, what do you mean? I'm disappointed in the game management of Pete Carroll in this game. You lost the game by going for it, on fourth down when your defense had been playing great and the Broncos offense has been disconnected. There is exactly zero reason to go for it. You gifted them field position where they directly then got a touchdown. That's the game right there. It's that simple. More confident about the Broncos? I do not feel more confident about the Broncos. I feel somewhat less confident about the Broncos. The Broncos right now it's still the hope of like they're better than what I believe to see them playing. Being able to watch this game, I would say we are missing Mims more than expected. Our returns, we're missing a real deep threat. The only thing I can think of is he's trying to fool the Chiefs for next weekend so they are caught off guard. That's what someone commented on the video. I don't care what day it is. That offense can't move the ball. Yep. The book is out on Mahomes. You pressure him, he plays really bad. It's true. But seriously, why are we still acting like the Chiefs have been the same? It's not that the Chiefs haven't been the same, but their Chiefs are still... It's still Andy. It's still Mahomes. It's still Spags. They're still incredibly well run. Even if they haven't been exactly the same Chiefs, at any given moment, they still have the potential to do great things. They still know what to do. They know how to execute. Right now, who do you trust right now more? Do you really, truly trust the Broncos over the Chiefs? Julian, you got to pick for the Broncos Chiefs. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what the Chiefs look like this Sunday. What quarterback doesn't play worse under pressure, though? That's what I mean. He's been very inconsistent this year, but he's had great... Oh, boy. But he's had great moments in big spots, and fans in the media run with that. Nick's game has been this throughout the year. The Broncos beat Lucas. Hot take here. Eventually, we have to make hard decisions like we did with Tebow and sign a quarterback to push us over the hill. Who are you signing? When you get a pressure on any quarterback, they typically play bad. Chargers new tackle can play. I'm still on board with the Bolts. Yeah, you got to wait and see. Would you be shocked if the Chiefs missed the playoffs? I would be shocked if the Chiefs missed the playoffs. If the Chargers were healthy, if the Jags were more competent, if the Ravens weren't trying to dig themselves out of a hole, if the Bengals didn't have the worst defense in the history of the universe, like in any other regular year, the Chiefs would legitimately miss the playoffs. I understand that Andy and Spags and Mahomes are great, but I hate that boring argument. People beat the drum. I don't, it's not a boring argument to me. It's the reality, honestly. At the end of the day, that matters more. Your coaching and your quarterback, that matters more than anything. Are you going to start covering basketball? Yeah, so I cover basketball on I have the basketball channel, JWL Hoops. I cover it now, but I definitely cover it way more once the football season starts to slow down. If the Broncos beat the Chiefs next week, is the division a given at that point? Is the division? I don't think the division is a given, but it's massive. It's massive. I mean, like that would rock the world. Again, think about how the Broncos are playing right now, and if they beat the Chiefs, like how would like someone like Nick, and I don't mean that from like a funny point because Nick, because Nick's a Chiefs fan, but Nick obviously believes in the Chiefs. He thinks the Broncos are awful, and then if the Chiefs lose to the Broncos, like how do you explain that? Julian, this season for KC is why I said Brady drought. Yeah, but you think it would continue for another 3, 4, 5 years? Question, which team do you trust the most right now? Between the Chiefs and the Broncos, you're saying? You think Colts win this year? Like, win the Super Bowl? I think penalties and drop balls are our biggest problem. They have a ton of drops, no doubt, and the penalties are also through the roof. But I don't know how you suddenly just stop dropping the ball, and at this point in the season, how do you stop having so many penalties? Well, you're close to that, to those preseason. Chiefs can't afford to go on a Brady drought. Mahomes isn't playing until 40. I agree with that. The Colts are scary this year. They are. Nick brought up injuries. Yep, I know. I meant this week. This week about what? Major question. Have you ever thought of doing like a joint live, some podcast? do like a joint live, some podcasts of different NFL teams. What do you mean? Major question. Have you ever gave a thought of doing like a joint live, some podcasts of the different NFL teams? You mean like other podcasts that focus on like a specific team? Some of these drops are bow passes though, let's be honest. Depends. Those aren't, I don't really count those as drops though, if it's an errant throw. Colts need to play playoff teams. We sleep with basketball under our pillow. Maybe that's why our neck hurts. Basketball, what? Like, are the Colts going to win this week? Oh. Who do the Colts play again? The Steelers? No, the Chargers play the Steelers. The Colts play the Falcons. Right? Is that who the Colts play? The Falcons? First time I saw Lucas, I thought he covered WWE. Why? Because I'm jacked. Falcons in London. Yeah, it's a weird game. You got to go with the Colts. I believe the Colts will bounce back, and I don't trust the Falcons at all. The Falcons are also going to London. Yeah, right. I don't know. The fact that they're playing in London, I thought there would maybe be a chance that the Falcons can be legit. The Falcons are so inconsistent, and I blame coaching, and now they got to travel international. Yeah, I'm not trusting that. I would say 5 years would be drought. Allen would get 2. Jalen gets his 2nd. Lamar gets 1. Wow, everyone's winning rings. You get a ring. You get a ring. You get a ring. Jalen getting another one. Good night, Jonathan. They're in Berlin. I can't ever keep up where they are. How many more international games left are there? Julian, what does Danny Dimes' Indiana Jones success mean to Brian Daboll's coaching ability? I think it's not necessarily about Brian Daboll, more about the roster too. But I do agree. Brian Daboll does take a little bit of heat for that. But, you know, Shane Steichen is also an elite offensive mind. One last one in Madrid. Who's that game? Do you know? The Falcons are feisty, but they can't play consistent. I'd love to meet Oprah. I can get on Oprah's network. I can be her football guy. Seattle's definitely looking dangerous. And their move, it's the Dolphins. First time viewing you. You seem to know ball. Good work. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's what happened with Brady. Eli got 2. Breeze got 2. Yeah, but he played Tom Brady, though. Breeze got 1. Rodgers got 1. Flacco, a random. Who was the random? How do you feel about the offense going into the back half of the schedule? Which offense? The Broncos offense? I agree about Steichen, but Danny is playing MVP level. That's an indictment on Daboll. You also have to think about the O-line and the running back they have in Indy versus Daboll. That's what I'm saying, exactly. That's what I was talking about, the roster. And Commanders, laugh aloud. Broncos. I don't feel great right now about the Broncos offense. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me right now. I'm still... every time I watch the Broncos play, I can't really process it. Thank you. It's actually my shirt. We appreciate your analysis and praise for Justin Herbert. Thank you. This game was ugly. It was very ugly. What do you think about the... Yeah, I think that's very awful. I was going to cover that, but... yeah, I didn't know. Colin Kaepernick and Flacco made a Super Bowl. Yeah. Flacco won. Can't wait to see Sam MVP. Yeah. Oh, Sam VP. Oh, I like that. Shahid and Jason. I got a video about that. Posting tomorrow. I agree with that. They did let Saquon go for 0. That's what I'm saying. Like, what are they doing? I am having a good day. Love your videos educating these folks. I got you. Happy to do it. Isn't it funny that Colin is now back on saying that Sam Darnold is like the best quarterback in the NFL right now, when literally last week he goes, Sam Darnold is regressing? It's pretty funny. In those 5 years, Allen gets 2. In the media, we'll finally say that Allen is better. We'll see. I don't know if they'll ever say that. What are your thoughts on the Colts getting Sauce Gardner? I like it. I like them going all in. I like them taking chances. But people do seem to be conflicted about Sauce Gardner and how good he is. Who are you? Who are your top 3 of the Super Bowl? I don't understand the question. These commentators who cover multiple sports. It's tough to cover multiple sports. Fun fact, 4 NFL players actually including... He actually broke the... Hold on. A lot of people not happy with this game, by the way, in the comment section. Hold on. Who's more cringy, Nick or Danny? You know, I don't listen to a lot of Danny. I mean, I don't really watch the overtime thing. He was on it today because he was I just posted a video about Stafford and the Rams today. What was I gonna say? I don't know if Sean Payton has given up play calling anytime soon. But yeah, I don't listen to a lot of Danny. Or watch a lot of Danny. I don't ever really watch the overtime. Only if I feel like I'm, don't have a lot of clips or anything like that. So, and I feel like Nick is someone who I've gotten to know. So like I'm okay with like, I know how his mind works. Like I can only tolerate like, I don't know. I'm comfortable with the people who I listen to because I know how they operate. I know how they talk. Like that, I struggle with Acho and LaShawn McCoy. Like I struggle with that. But I know Orlovsky, Ryan Clark, Hawk, Swagoo, Nick, Colin, J Mac. Like, I don't know. It's like it takes me it takes me a minute to like accept you as a voice, as someone who I'm gonna like want to listen to. Honestly, I struggle with it. People would always be like, you gotta do more facility, and I was like, I can't. I can do a clip here and there, but it is tough. It is genuinely tough. Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals are a completely different team right now. So, what we saw in the past is not who we saw today. I loved Speak for Yourself with Marcellus Wiley. But what teams do you think should have been more aggressive during the trade deadline? Yeah, I'm surprised the Bills. I think the Bills could have. Someone asked me before about the Chiefs. I wouldn't have hated a move from the Chiefs. Trying to think who else. Colts made moves. Patriots didn't, which I think is fine. I mean, I think probably the Bills, Chiefs, Rams. I know the Rams made some moves, but could have been a little bit bigger. Sean McCoy talks like he actually had play time in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs, Bucks. I know. But he was great, but he was not a big, he wasn't a big contributor to that. Julian, what team do you think won the trade deadline game? I think you got to wait and see. I really do. Who knows? It could be the Eagles, could be the Seahawks, could be the Colts. I mean, like, you got to just wait and see. They wanted Breece Hall, but the Jets wanted too much for him. That is what you mean, though, when you say you feel the Bills are failing Josh Allen. Why was it? That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I mean, think about how their big move last year was Amari Cooper. It was like, we got Amari Cooper now. Like, let's go. And it was like, what did the Rams do to win their Super Bowl? They're like, oh, we're going to go out and get OBJ and Von Miller. Two guys who were, near the end of their prime, but they still were ready to ball. What are your thoughts on the officiating that game? I counted 4 holds by the Raiders O-line. This game right now, you're saying? I don't know. I don't have a good sense of the officiating, honestly. This game specifically. I think with the live stream, it's a little bit harder to lock into to some of that nuance of some of that stuff, honestly, to be honest. Well, the Colts definitely paid a big price. No doubt about it. And that's why the moves that Howie made are all reward, no risk. If it works, it's amazing. If not, it's like whatever. What do you think is a system quarterback? I don't know right now. What do I think is a system quarterback? What Gardner Minshew did with Shane Steichen and the Colts. That's a system quarterback. Someone who's really just working 100% on script, nothing crazy, not really aggressive. Everything is really calculated by the coach. Well, it's kind of crazy how you could be in the NFL, have a lot of success, and make dumb comments like Joe Burrow is a system quarterback. It just goes to show you, just because you played doesn't mean you know everything, especially when you're trying to have a media career. Nick's celebrating right now. Nick is saying, this is what I told you. I told you. The punting in that game were pretty wild. Builds. JJ McCarthy, your thoughts? I think JJ McCarthy is still a huge work in progress. Everybody wants to bury him or everybody wants to celebrate him as already arriving. And I don't think it's either. I don't know how you can't like Joe Burrow. Dude, the punting, like I said, for both were just crazy. I only know one system quarterback, and he makes $60 million. Dak Prescott? Or Brock Purdy? I'm trying to think of who you were trying to say. How do you think Bo will perform in the playoffs? I don't know. We'll see how he plays against the Chiefs. I mean, you need to see the version of Bo Nix like we saw against the Chiefs in both games against the Chiefs. Against the Bengals. Like, that's the Bo Nix we're waiting to see. So game manager makes sense to me. I use game manager all the time, but I don't mean it. I don't say it negatively. I always say that you have, in order to be an elite quarterback, you have to be an elite game manager. You have to understand how to manage a game. Like Bo Nix, for instance, today did not manage the game by throwing that interception. That is a moment of being bad game management. I asked that question, Julian, because throughout Brady's career, some people called him a system quarterback, which makes no sense since Belichick was a defensive coach. Yeah. I think also sometimes people say system quarterback and they also maybe sometimes mean game manager. But like, I think Jalen Hurts is a great point of that last season, right? Like he managed a lot of games and he was great at it. Situationally came up big and was a game manager. He didn't throw for 4,000 yards and 50 touchdowns, but then in the moments where you needed him most, he came up big throughout the playoffs, against the Packers, against the Rams, but especially obviously against the Commanders and the Chiefs. So it's not always one of the same thing. Well, yeah, I mean, Tom Brady's an elite processor. If you pick Purdy over Dak, you may be brain dead. Who's picking Purdy over Dak? Herbert is a freak. Yeah, I agree. Justin Herbert is him. People are very divisive on Justin Herbert. Dak is an assistant quarterback, not a game manager either. Wasn't it Cam Newton who said that Dak isn't a game changer? No, right, that was that meant to be a flea flicker? I don't know what that was meant to be. And then what about the other play with Bo Nix when it was like, I still don't know if it was a blown up play or what, where it looked like he was using Dobbins as a blocker. Like, I still don't really even know, but like neither of them committed to it. They both looked confused what was supposed to happen in that play. Dak is a game changer. He loses them in the biggest moments. That's pretty funny. The narrative on Herbert is that he's a choker. Patrick Mahomes choked in the Super Bowl. He choked against the Bills. Who you think Drake May has the potential to... Do you think Drake May has the potential to be a top 3? I do. Drake May has been different. The fact that Drake May gets sacked so much and is still having the success that he's having is really remarkable. It really, really is remarkable. And let's face it, he's got great coaching staff on offense and defense. Obviously, Tom Brady is Tom Brady, but still. I wish Bo ran more. He does need to run more, but that's also on Sean Payton to make sure that he runs more. Yeah, I don't know what to make of May. Bro's a baller. He is. He has been insanely impressive. But that, like I said, what impresses me so much is that he's still getting pressured a ton and he's getting sacked a ton. And it doesn't affect his game or the ability for the Patriots to score. Like, it shouldn't make sense. Well, could you imagine if Jalen Hurts actually had like a great offensive coordinator consistently? Well, Colin thinks that he wants him because he knows that he needs him to be like a big-time thrower and a big-time playmaker with his arm. So he wants him to just like throw him into the fire. Colin's whole sense is that Sean Payton is just trying to throw him into the middle of the ocean and being like, you just got to learn how to swim. You're going to struggle. You're going to have some bad games. You're going to have some ugly quarters, but you got to find a way through it because we need to get you up to speed right now. I don't know if that's the case. I mean, I don't know. Colin does know Sean Payton. They do text. So, like, I don't know what type of information Colin actually gets from Sean Payton here. Yeah, every quarterback needs a good run game and some good coaching to win. Bo Nix #1 in the league with QB touchdowns? What do you mean? Would you want to see a Chiefs-Patriots playoff matchup? That's a tough one. Only if it's guaranteed that Drake May and the Patriots show up. And it's not one of those, that's a rookie quarterback, like a young quarterback being a young quarterback. Well, yeah, listen, I'm sure, I don't know. Listen, Sean could easily tell Colin the truth and just be like, listen, you can't, I'm telling you some of this stuff, but you can't, you can't say the whole thing. I don't know. Who honestly knows? He led the league in passing, punting, and interceptions. They used to do it all, man. If it's in New England, I would like to see it. If it's in KC, nah. Aren't you a KC fan? Aren't you a Chiefs fan? Aren't you a Mahomes fan? I don't think May has trouble showing up. No, I know, but still, playoffs, you don't know. I don't doubt it, but I think it's okay to, Well, that's why I had my whole video about that, because Nick was talking about that with Baker Mayfield and saying that's why he's taking Baker over Drake May, and I said, nah. Because he said the same thing about Jane Daniels against Baker Mayfield in that playoff game, and I said, nah. Do you just know these stats, or are you looking them up? Nick has always downplayed Andy Reid. In terms of Mahomes, I feel like we have two versions of Bo, and the play calling seems to be what makes a difference. I don't have much confidence in Sam Darnold after his playoff collapse last year. He did not collapse. The team collapsed. What's going to happen with Miami and Tua? Probably depends on who they hire as a coach. Patriots are not back, only back to playing good football. He's downplayed it multiple times. He has. I don't know who Miami's going to hire. Who wants that job? What quality of coach are you getting? He was pressured an insane amount that game. More times than Patrick Mahomes was in the Super Bowl. As Nick is just Mahomes' homer. Never remembered him so annoying before Mahomes. Yeah, it would be interesting to go back to his takes in like 2016, 2017. But it's good business. Build your persona around an amazing quarterback and a great team, and you keep just building off of that fan base. Let me look at this real fast. 2024 wild card. Passing. Let's see how many times Sam Darnold was pressured in that game. Sam Darnold was pressured 40. No, hold on. That is insane. Sam Darnold was pressured 27 times. 27 times. To put that in context, Patrick Mahomes was pressured 18 times against the Buffalo Bills. So actually, Sam Darnold played better than Patrick Mahomes. Justin Herbert was pressured 19 times. Just is what it is. 3 games in NFL history, 5+ pass touchdowns, 25, 50+ rushing yards, all by Lamar Jackson. You are the record keeper. How many times was Mahomes pressured in the Super Bowl? Less than that. I think Mahomes in the Super Bowl was pressured 18 times or so. 17. Look at my memory. 17 times. So Sam Darnold was pressured 10 more times against a great Los Angeles Rams defense. Matthew Stafford, that same game, was only pressured 11. So nearly 3 times as much. Yeah, Mahomes' stats were awful. He had a passer rating in the 70s. It was bad. Bro, what's gotten into Sam Darnold? He is him. Denver in the playoffs depends on Bo Nix playing good because today, man, wow. Well, yeah, you always got to rely on your quarterback. Mahomes does hold the ball a little too long 2 times. He'll always do that. Any great quarterback holds on to the ball too long a couple times, occasionally. Lamar, Josh, Mahomes. What was Darnold's time holding the ball against the Rams last year? 3.1. Patrick Mahomes, 3.24. Mahomes had more time in the pocket. Lamar Jackson, 3.34. Bo Nix, 3.1. Josh Allen, 3.1. So it's all within range. You say that's long, it's all within range of all these other quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts, 3.5. Sam Darnold was actually 5th in time to throw. Bo Nix, 319. Patrick Mahomes, 324. Lamar Jackson, 334. Jalen Hurts, 352. The problem with time to throw is always a little tough because especially with Jalen and Lamar and whatnot, that makes it sound like they just sit in the pocket and they have 1, 2, 3. And that's not the case because time to throw is also incorporating when someone is scrambling and running around and then throwing it. So they really need a better defined stat that really is just specifically how much time do you have in the pocket. Sam Darnold actually moves a lot better with his legs than you think. Yeah, well, Tom Brady, that was never his game. Tom Brady was like the definition of 2.5. 2.5 throw. Because all plays are designed to be within 2.5 seconds. Like that's what it is. It's 2.5. That's how you're designing your routes and your plays to all come to fruition in 2.5 seconds. I'm a Bills truther. Darnold was seeing ghosts in the Rams playoff. Your receivers do have to get open as well for you to get rid of the ball early. Brady had to play that way because he wasn't mobile. Well, let me see. What was a good year for Tom Brady? Was it 2011? That was that. Was 2011? Was that 2011? Let me see. Yeah, 2011. Tom Brady threw for 5,235 yards, 39 touchdowns. But he had 12 interceptions when you think about it. I mean, if we had a quarterback now who threw 12 interceptions, we'd be ripping him. But Tom Brady's out there throwing 5,000 yards, 39 touchdowns. I mean, Aaron Rodgers threw 45 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I know I can't go back to 2007. It doesn't go that far. Otherwise, I would have went to 07. But isn't it 07 and 2011 when he lost to Eli? His time to throw was 2.5. Like I said, all these quarterbacks, it's crazy. Pretty much all of these quarterbacks are all 2.5, 2.8 or lower. Nowadays, it's so much higher because quarterbacks do hold on to the ball. They do scramble so much more. But Aaron Rodgers had 43 scrambles. Tom Brady, 13. Drew Brees, 13. Michael Vick, 52. Michael Vick is obviously Michael Vick, but Aaron Rodgers, 43 scrambles relative to Michael Vick is pretty insane. And Michael Vick had 18 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and 3,300 yards, whereas Aaron Rodgers had 4,600 yards, 45 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 68% completion percentage. People forget how elite Aaron Rodgers was, man. I mean, even Tom Brady, when he won the Super Bowl in 2020, let's see what he did there. 4,600 yards, 40 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, like still a chunk of interceptions. Aaron Rodgers, 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers, man, is him. Make no mistake about it. And Tom Brady got rid of the ball 2.4 seconds. 2.4 seconds. He literally just hike, throw, hike, throw, hike, throw. I mean, like, it's crazy. And you really can't see any quarterbacks really throwing over 3 seconds. Now let's jump to 2025. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got 11 quarterbacks throwing the ball 3 seconds or longer. Whereas in 2011, there were 3. Tim Tebow, Michael Vick, and Cam Newton. Obviously, 3 complete outliers. I mean, think about that. That's pretty wild. That's how football has fundamentally changed. He never won because he had a bad defense. And Mike McCarthy is hardly an elite coach. Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, is the most talented quarterback ever. Are you not a Mahomes fan? I asked you that before, but I don't know if you answered. I'm so confused. I thought you were a Mahomes Chiefs fan. I thought you always yelled at me for my Mahomes and Chiefs takes. Manning and Brady was so great pre-snap. They'd know what they had. Well, they did know exactly what they wanted to do before. Well, you used to be able to talk about pre-snap and processing. Do I want to learn how to welcome them? Sure. I am a Mahomes and Chiefs fan, but Rodgers is more accurate than Mahomes. Okay. It became like we're no longer really allowed to talk about like pre-snap reads, processing. It's like no longer like a thing we're allowed to discuss. It was a practice scrimmage type coaching, trying new plays and new looks, is what someone just said about that Broncos game. People are not happy. I don't blame them. Michael Harrison, Tony Dunn tied for the most fumbles ever with 90. That's a lot of fumbles. Julian, your thoughts on Ryan Clark saying that Josh Allen doesn't carry his team when it counts like Mahomes? I mean, Ryan Clark clearly likes very specific types of quarterbacks. I'll just leave it at that. To the point where it's kind of weird and uncomfortable. And honestly, I don't want any part of it. That's my honest view on it. It's like, leave me out of it. So which team are you hoping to draw a Denver matchup in the playoffs? I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know. We're going to learn about the Broncos when they go up against the Chiefs. To me, that tells us everything we need to know. I do enjoy watching Marcellus Wiley call Ryan Clark out and troll him. I think a lot of people would love to see Mike McDaniel go to Philly. Yeah, the NFC is flowing right now. Listen, as weird as this season has been, like, you know, it's you still got the Chiefs, you still got the Eagles, you still got the Bills. The Ravens get in, you still got Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. You got the Seahawks now, you got the Rams. You got the Colts. You got a lot of crazy stuff going on. Yeah, you see the names that you're saying, JCT? There seems to be a common theme. And like I said, I don't want nothing to do with that. It's weird behavior to me. And so well, that is absolutely what the Eagles constantly do. They just rely on their guys to just beat you straight up. And it's a tough existence. What's-his-face talked about that with A.J. Brown. Darius Slay. It's just, like I said, it's just weird to me. You didn't know that about RC? I feel like that's pretty known about him. Or maybe it's just because I watched a bunch of Marcellus Wiley call it out a lot. I just feel like in the AFC, it's the same 3 or 4 teams every year. Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, maybe the Colts do something. Yeah, no, I hear that. Yeah, JD with that imagination he got. Imagination? Let's see. Ryan Clark. I think Ryan Clark is just salty he didn't have a very impressive career. You know, it's so funny. I was watching the Steelers-Packers Super Bowl where Greg Jennings caught a pass, and then they like show Ryan Clark like kind of struggling, and it was like, it is funny because at this point, you know, you spent more time with them now as like sports commentators than players, right? Like you actually see, I see Greg Jennings more obviously like on First Things First and stuff than when he was like a receiver. And it's just so interesting to see them play. I put Ryan Clark in the category of, you know, I played in the pros and I really lean into that. Like, I was a pro. I was in the NFL. And that becomes like his whole identity of like, I've been there before. I know what I'm talking about. And again, props to you. Respect you. You've been in the league, been in the NFL. Like, you do know what it's like to be in the NFL. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But that can't be your entire identity as a commentator, as a sports analyst. Remembering Greg Jennings, broken leg. As a Broncos fan, that felt like a loss to me. Yeah, it was a tough game. No doubt about that. I feel like that's more Acho than RC. Well, because Acho tries to really bump it up. He will always be like, listen, man, I was there. You know, like he would always talk about that on Speak for Yourself, where he's like, we're the only show on TV where it's nothing but players. And he's like talking to Marcellus Wiley, who like actually had success in the NFL. Like, I don't know. It was always like weird. It was like, and again, he did make it. Listen, he's got farther than any of us. So it's like, it's not downplaying it, but like, just feels like, you know, like when he's with like LaShawn McCoy and who's the Packers guy, right? I can never remember his name. You know, he's sandwiched between 2 players who truly accomplish things in the NFL, like who truly have real accomplishments. James Jones, exactly. That's it, James Jones. And you're just like, Nacho, like you're definitely different. You know that, right? Like you know they don't see you as the same. You know that, right? Like anyone who's played sports where you can actually sit on the bench, like you know you're viewed differently, right? Like it is different. Yeah, I think Marcellus Wiley had more like injury issues. I think he was a Pro Bowl, like a 3-time Pro Bowler. Oh, I know James Jones was a good player, though. That's what I'm saying. Mark Schlereth. Travis, you're still here. Mark Schlereth is like that a lot. I played, so I know more than you. He was explaining how they taught it and its verbiage. And the verbiage changed to no, you don't know. It's changed. Uh-oh. Travis walking up to Mark Schlereth saying, hey, Mark, take your Super Bowl wins and get out of here. Well, so it was Mark Schlereth's. Mark Schlereth is definitely old school, and he's very much like, you just got to punch them in the mouth. You just got to, and he's very like old school like that. And it's like, we need a little bit more than that. But I really respected when he was on first. Oh, why do I keep saying first things first? Speak for Yourself with Marcellus Wiley. And Mark was just like, it's all about winning the Super Bowl. That's all that matters, blah, 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 blah. And Marcellus Wiley was very honest. And he's like, Mark, that it was like that for you. That's great. He's like, he goes, that is not what it is for everyone. He goes, that is not what it was for me. He's like, for me, I needed to make money. I had to get paid. I had to take care of my family. I want to win. I want to do that. He's like, but I got to take care of my family. And I just thought that was like an honest conversation back and forth. And just recognizing that, yeah, for a lot of people in the NFL, it is not just 100% all about winning. Well, Mark Schlereth is also definitely one of those people who for sure, and I don't mean this in a negative, but like you get brainwashed for organized sports, for teams. You absolutely get brainwashed. You get sold this messaging that keeps going and going and going. Sometimes you can see past it. Sometimes you mature out of it. But there's definitely people who just get really sold on all the coach speak and we're united as one. We're a family. It's all about the jersey or the name on the front, not the name on the back. And it's like, those things all sound good. And fans want to hear it and coaches want to hear it, but it's like, it's not always the truth. Uh-oh, Brandon in the house, Kansas City fan in the house. Let's go. KC fans, they be here. Good night, JD. Thanks for stopping by. Well, that's what I'm saying. Mark is very old school like that. Where there's a will, there's a way. He's all about not the X's and O's, the Jims and Joes, or whatever the heck it is. Whatever the expression is. It's not about the X's and O's. It's about the Allens and Mahomes. Well, and to be fair, I guess, to be an offensive lineman, you kind of do need that. You do need that mentality because you're taking an absolute beating. So, to be fair, I get it. See you, man. I'll see you in the comments section tomorrow. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be getting going soon in the next 5 minutes. I got to make my food. I just got to microwave it. Brush my teeth, lay in bed, go to sleep. Hey, man. We could all use an ant wagon. The old school speak for yourself when they had 4 people and having arguments was the best. Are you talking about with Marcellus Wiley and Jason Whitlock? And then when they would bring in the one Penn State running back who got drafted like 2nd overall. I can't think of his name. I do think Jalen Hurts is an MVP candidate, honestly. I don't think he's necessarily going to win, but I think he absolutely positively should be in consideration. No doubt about it. I hate how no one brings up how hard the Eagles' schedule is this year. The fact that they're 6-2 is great. It's true. Don't worry, Brandon. I'll be here. I'll look for your comment when I make the video about how great Bo Nix actually was tonight. LeVar Arrington, that's it. Why did I think? Yeah, LeVar Arrington, that's it. Thank you. He was on it a lot. Marcellus Wiley, Jason Whitlock. And then they also had the basketball player. Also Jones. Jim Jones? John Jones? I'm so bad with names. They'd also have the running back who has the record. He came on a lot. He also gave like generic old school. Jim Jackson, thank you. Raspy voice. Yeah, definitely not Jim. Eric Dickerson, thank you. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm so bad with names. But he would also just be like, run the ball. You got to run the ball. Got to get 30 carries a game. Run the ball. That's what I'm saying. Just wait till my take at when Colin comes out. And first things first. Oh, so do the Broncos have their game against the Chiefs and then the bye? They'd also bring what's-his-face on Speak for Yourself. The basketball guy. Wow, gosh, what's his name? He now shows up on The Herd. What's his name? Well, Jason Whitlock definitely has a brand now, too. No, not Pierce. He's never played. He's from the Bay Area, I think. Rick Bucher. Thank you. JCT just always knows what I'm thinking. He just knows. JCT is my translator. Dude, that new version of Undisputed never worked. Julian, you think Nick knows he annoys other... Oh, he wants to. He does it on purpose. It's part of his brand. He wants to be the heel. He wants to antagonize. I mean, think about this. I think about this a lot, honestly. A lot. The Eagles won the Super Bowl, obviously, and they beat the Chiefs. Because he antagonized that fan base so much, and because he boosted the Chiefs so much, people could not wait for first things first for Nick Wright. They could not wait. They just could not wait to just run to watch the video, to run to the comment section. Like they couldn't wait to see what Nick had to say rather than anyone else who's like, told you the Eagles were going to win, or the Eagles played great. Like, you know, whoever it was, whether it's Dan Orlovsky, whether it's Colin Cowherd, no matter what, they wanted to see what Nick had to say. They could not, like they all just came just in droves. If it was the Detroit Lions who won, if it was the Los Angeles Rams who won, if it was the 49ers who won, if it was pretty much any other team but the Eagles who beat the Kansas City Chiefs, you do not get that effect. People are not flooding the comments. And he has that same thing set up with the Buffalo Bills, with Lamar Jackson specifically. Like, that's why he does. That's why he even makes the jokes. Joe Burrow, system quarterback. I don't know. Joe Flacco is actually better with and he does not believe that. But he does it because he knows, and he knows it. He wants to be the heel. It's why I don't take issue ever disagreeing with his takes or even need to tiptoe around it, because it's just like he wants it. He wants that noise. First things first, wants that noise. That's what a lot of people say. That he's different on what's right or when he's with Colin. Rex Ryan was trying to get his coaching game on. You didn't like the game, Dwayne? You didn't think that was an exciting game? Richard Sherman, Michael Irvin, Keyshawn Johnson, and Skip kept yelling at each other. That's wrong. Dude, you saying those names, dude, Keyshawn was bad. Come on, Skip. I don't know what he was ever saying. And then they're talking about stuff that you're hearing like Michael Irvin talking about like basketball and stuff. Like he's just like, no. Caitlin Clark is a great player. It's like, oh, is she? Do you think she's great? Well, the real question is how popular does First Things First stay when Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs eventually, round out? Like what actually happened? What happens when you can't do an actual Mahomes mount? I'm not saying it's happening tomorrow, but obviously eventually it'll happen. And I think that's why then Nick was trying to he's trying to get the next one, trying to get Caleb Williams or whoever it may be. It's like, okay, this is my guy. And then he really doubled down on that. But it's just not going to hit the same thing. Oh, and that's why he drops those banners. And it's why I skip those banners. Bro, are the Chargers up at the back of the front of the line as back part of the top 10? If they get beat on the win. By the way, you're my favorite fan. My favorite trans YouTuber. Okay. Yeah, he knows when he drops banner. Yeah. Thank you, Julian. Jim Rome telling us good night now. What? Every argument I've heard excusing Pat's subpar play could apply to the Broncos. 8-2 is 8-2. Nick Wright says things for shock value. Yes, he does, and he knows it. It served him well. Bill September champs felt justified after their losing streak. I don't know. We're pretending like the Bills haven't been a great team with Josh Allen, though. What would Nick call a Caleb QB tier, Julian? Caleb's... So that's the thing. Will he have another version of that? That's actually kind of interesting. Would he do that, or does that actually downplay Mahomes? Or will it forever be Mahomes Mountain? I could see him doing that more. Like when Mahomes retires or something, he'll keep it as Mahomes Mountain. Because it's Mahomes' mountain. But now that he's retired, other people get to climb the mountain or whatever. Yeah, Caleb's crib. Caleb's cage. It's Hertz's Himalaya. Bro, Nick Wright is like Chargers and Broncos is because we getting Caleb now. Caleb. Who do you think most likely, outside of no Josh, no Lamar, no Mahomes, who do you think is going to be the best quarterback in the NFL? And will they actually have a run where it's clear they're the best quarterback for the next 4 or 5 years? We got Jaden. We got Herbert. Seems like we're going to get lots of names here. Williams, Wild West. There you go. Hurts, most consistent. Herbert is clearly the best right now. If Hurts keeps winning, interesting. I'm sensing we got some Eagles fans in the house right now. Eagles and Chargers fans. Drake May with McDaniels. Okay. Yeah. Caleb Williams with Ben Johnson is going to be a problem. That is true. It seems to me the safest bet when factoring injury, when factoring continuity of coaching, outside of Herbert, give you Baker Mayfield, bro. No. One more time. No. It feels like Drake May would be the safest bet because of the potential for continuity of coaching, talent, and health. Jaden would be, you'd be nervous because of health. Jalen, because will they ever be able to keep an offensive coordinator for more than 2 minutes? Caleb obviously has a great chance at that with Ben Johnson. But in terms of what you're seeing right now, yeah, but I think he'll take less sacks, though. Think about how great he's been right now, and he's taking all those sacks. And Drake May is still so young. He's still the youngest out of all of them. He's younger than Caleb. He's younger than Jaden. He's younger than Bo Nix. Like, it's pretty remarkable. Well, that is what makes Josh Allen, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, etc., like, pretty special. And Herbert and whatnot, is that they've been able to be incredibly resilient over the years and truly be great and special year after year. And they do typically show up when they play here. What's going on here? About what? Hurts, I'm not sure because of raw numbers won't be there. Well, that's what I'm saying. Hurts seemingly will never play like how people view a top quarterback to play, like Mahomes, etc. Okay, if we're talking about the future, Jackson Dart, yeah, you'd have to also factor in the Giants. The video was showing me reacting to the game? I don't know what you mean. About the Broncos? Did you watch the Broncos video, my post-game video? But I was saying, for Jackson Dart, you have to factor in, like, are they keeping Brian Daboll? Are they going to fire him? Are they going to start this coaching revolving door now? Will they actually support him? Listen, I think Jane Daniels is elite. I think Jane Daniels is special. I think Jane Daniels is the truth. Without a doubt. But he's having a rough go at it right now. I don't think Bo's hurt. Jane is better than RG3. You can take away Jaden's legs and he is still an elite. You can turn Jaden into a statue quarterback and he is still elite. Raiders are like the Broncos kryptonite. I don't know. Are the Jets the Broncos kryptonite too? Are the Giants the Broncos kryptonite? I'm more of a May guy over JD based on preference. I'm a big QB type person. Like, you like a big body? Like Colin? Because I do agree. That's why I was also picking Stafford over Drew Brees as well. Yeah, well, it's hard not to like look at a Herbert and be like, that's a quarter. Someone who's like 6'5", 6'6", like just big, strong, can see everything. I have bigger muscles than Jane Daniels. And that's kind of a problem. I mean, listen, I work out. I'm also jacked. But no. McNabb or Hurts? What do you think? Jalen Hurts, the answer. Now he's Allen Iverson. I can't take Stafford over Brees. Brees, most accurate quarterback maybe of all time. I don't know. For many people, it's hard, Julian. Which is hard? Hurts over McNabb all day. I was randomly watching like best plays or whatever. It was like, you know, a YouTube video that was like 30 minutes of like the best plays, and they had a couple Donovan McNabb plays in there. Like Donovan McNabb in his prime was great, but you know, he had a very limited, narrow window. Oh yeah. I see. Travis. McNabb never had a squad like Hurts does. McNabb was a better quarterback. I don't know about that. Hurts never had a coach like Andy Reid. Breves, Rivers, Brady, Peyton, Eagles, Goats. Donovan had a rifle arm. I mean, also, remember when McNabb was playing, that style of play was hardly the norm. I mean, it wasn't even close to the norm. It was still, like, so unique to see. I mean, Donovan McNabb was big and strong as well. And they used to say, like, he's too big and strong. It actually hurts his ability to play quarterback, I remember. If McNabb just played 5% better, they beat the Patriots. McNabb just wasn't given weapons. Well, he had it with, Lamar Jackson fan in the house now. The truth. Who you taking, Lamar Jackson or Donovan McNabb? Michael Vick was the big arm quarterback of that era. He just couldn't aim high. He did when he had Andy Reid. He was great. Success wise, Hurts got it done though. It is true. Hurts is doing all of this with staff changes. It's true. Hurts ain't. Come on. Vick was not a better passer than Hurts. Come on now. Lamar, not even close. If you could have a quarterback for the next 10 years, and yes, you're including 10 years. So some of these other quarterbacks who are they're gonna be like 40. Who would you rather have? Drake May, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Vic was way better passer than Hurts. He had turnover for a bit, Deshaun Jackson for a bit, but never healthy. Yeah, he had T.O. for a minute. Lamar couldn't touch Vic. Lamar the next 10 years. For over the next 10 years, what do you think Lamar Jackson's going to look like at 39 years old? You can't say you don't agree with where Denver was listed on Nick's tiers list right now, because Denver's offense is awful. I think they're just hitting the reset button right now. Can Lamar stay healthy? That's what I'm saying, for the next 10 years. I like Allen's style the most, so give me Allen. But do you think Allen's going to last for 10 years? What are the options again? So Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar, but then throw in like Drake May. What's another good young quarterback who in 10 years is still going to be like who will be like 32, 33? I guess you could say Caleb. Who else could we throw in there? Do we have like a good 24-year-old quarterback right now? I can't think. That's why I just threw in Drake May. Because in 10 years, Drake May will only be like 32, 33. He'll still be in his prime. Whereas, you could throw in a Jackson Dart, yeah. Whereas Mahomes will be, again, in 10 years, they'll be 40. Like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, those quarterbacks when they're 37, 38, 39, 40, what are we expecting those quarterbacks to be? I really have no strong sense of what Mahomes, Allen, etc. will be when they're like 37, 30. That's why Drake May does feel like the safer play. Josh Allen is a monster. Yeah, Josh Allen will be 38 years old. Do we really think Josh Allen's going to look like Josh Allen at 35? I don't see it. I don't see it from Mahomes either. Everyone thinks that everyone's going to age like Tom Brady, but as we saw, Tom Brady's getting rid of the ball in 2.4 seconds. And Big Ben did not look good in those final years, man. He looked rough. He looked rough. Well, Josh Allen definitely, these quarterbacks definitely have better home lives now, I feel like, than they did in the past. And they also have ways to make money and live life in a smoother way. There's like a smoother transition. I feel like in the 80s and 90s, like life was just different, man. So I feel like, right, like I could see Josh Allen, especially if he gets his ring, just be like, I'm just going to have a family. I'm married to an actress, I have a podcast now and stuff. I run a clothing company and a production company. Like, I don't know. There's just like so much for these guys to do. But someone like Mahomes will last as long as he possibly can because he's trying to stack those rings. I don't know if Herbert's going to age well because he's taken a beating. He's taken more hits than Andrew Luck. Good night, Michael. I appreciate it. Lamar will be at 37, 38 will be more athletic than a prime Aaron Rodgers. You are confused who a prime Aaron Rodgers was. Yeah, the risk is, will Jaden stay healthy? Julian, ranked 24 quarterback class with the info you have currently right now. Ooh. With the info that I have right now, Jaden is still number one to me. Who's the Josh Rosen of the 24 class? Was Spencer Rattler the last pick in the draft? The last quarterback? Was he the last one? So I do think Mahomes will be able to handle being old and slow in the pocket the best. That I do agree with. Because he does have a great vision and he's a great processor. So I do agree with that. But I don't know if, how he will handle having to change his style of play. Because also what makes Mahomes special is his off script. And you're going to lose that significantly. And Mahomes already is only, as the joke was, someone said in the comments that he's like 0.1 miles per hour faster than the person who's trying to get him. When he loses that 0.1 mile per hour, like it's going to be tough. But it's tough for all these quarterbacks who lose a step. It just becomes like uncomfortable to watch. But also, Mahomes can't see the field as well without him moving around. Like Tom Brady is huge. Mahomes is what? Like 6'1"? Like Mahomes is actually smaller than you think. He's 6'2". That also matters when you're aging, being able to just stay in the pocket and see everything without having to move at all. Tom Brady was he 6'6" or something? 6'4". Kyler Murray struggling. The last quarterback draft in 2024 was Michael Pratt, selected round 7. Okay. What number? How many quarterbacks were drafted in 2024? Dude, I went to the grocery store the other day and I saw this like Pokemon machine where you can get Pokemon. What was that? Some guy was standing by. I didn't even know what it was. Rosen of 24 would have to be to pick, not a late round pick. He wasn't right. So you have to pick like a top quarterback. I don't think there is any Rosens then because all quarterbacks have already been more successful than him. Whether even JJ McCarthy has been more successful. But J.J. McCarthy's already had better moments than Josh Rosen. Who's better combo to you, Brady and Josh McDaniels, OC, or Mahomes with Andy? Ooh, that is a great question. I think Mahomes and Andy are the greatest offensive coach quarterback duo of all time. That is a good question, though. I appreciate it. I said it before Travis. Josh Allen will lose his mobility before Lamar. I don't know about that. Goff isn't the guy. Guy's a bigger choker than Matt Ryan. Lamar is starting from a higher peak. Dude, I don't know. I know you think very highly of Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson is great. I think you're downplaying just a little bit of what Josh Allen brings to the table. Keep up the good work. Love all your content. I appreciate that, Lonnie. Thank you. Do you think Mahomes is technically on the decline right now? Or do you think it's more a matter of O-line, receivers, et cetera, et cetera? If Josh Allen loses 2/10 of his 40 time, he won't be able to get away from his defender. He's also stronger than Lamar. Travis, so you think Lamar is on the decline? Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes? You think it's a combination? He's losing it a little bit and some issues with the roster. Interesting. So you think he's already on his way out of his prime technically? Who's my top 5 quarterbacks currently? How they're playing. So Travis, why do you think that? You got to give me analysis. When you ask me who's my top 5 quarterbacks, this season right now, who specifically is top 5 or just in the grand scheme of things? Those are different questions to me. So he won't get another Andy Reid is true, but could he find himself with a Sean McVay or a Shanahan or, you know what I mean? It's not, listen, there's only one Andy Reid to me, but could he still find him? Doesn't mean that he's going to get some other coach where you're like, who's Marcus Smith right now? So that's why it's a shame. I want Andy Reid to coach forever, but I would love to see Patrick Mahomes with someone completely not Andy Reid. I'd love to see what Patrick Mahomes looks like with Kevin Patullo, okay? I'd love to see that. But Patrick Mahomes would still find himself probably with a Mike McDaniel or something. The ball doesn't come out as fast, and those 20, 30-yard ropes are now balls that are starting to sail a bit. So why do you think they're starting to sail? What about that, about him aging, would cause them to sail more? Like a mechanical issue? And when you're saying the ball doesn't come out as fast, do you mean from processing or the velocity on the ball? If you played matchmaker, what OC would you watch with Allen? Andy Reid. In a heartbeat. The velocity. His processing is what will have him playing for a very long time. That's fair. So you think this is purely physicality then, that he is just losing it a little bit? He just doesn't have the oomph. Who's your top 5 quarterback? But answer with whatever interpretation that you wish. Well, I don't know. That changes then. If Mahomes can go to another team and win, then no, but I can see him sticking with KC for his career. Yeah, I don't think he's just going to jump to another team. But listen, you never know. Literally, who would have ever thought Tom Brady would go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of all teams? He's like, I'm going to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And you're like, what? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers? And then he goes and wins a Super Bowl. I'd like to see Mahomes with prime Mike Shanahan. Because at least Shanahan runs the ball. Mahomes never had. Mahomes has had a run game. It's just a different run game because it's how Andy Reid uses the extension of the pass game for a run game. So it's totally different. It's not like Patrick Mahomes just struggled in the run game. It's how Andy Reid operates an offense. Yeah, over the past 2 to 3 years of getting hit, and also he used to throw the ball so hard that doesn't last forever. Yeah. Are we seeing the end of Patrick Mahomes? I would like to see Allen with an OC like Reid. Yeah. So would I. I'd like to see him with that in a second. See, Travis tells me that I'm right. That's all that matters. Big Ben was never a top 3 quarterback in the league. I don't have a strong opinion of that. Josh Allen would thrive in Reid's offense. Yeah. Any offense that you can just make things easier for Josh Allen, no doubt. Also, I think Josh Allen adds more versatility than a Patrick Mahomes, so I'd love to see what Josh Allen... Listen, Josh Allen is essentially an elite, truly elite version of Donovan McNabb. Like, let's be serious here. So, Andy Reid has already coached a lesser version of Josh Allen. You're saying Michael Vick never lost his speed? Mike Vick also took a couple years off. Yeah, he passed well with Andy. We've never seen a quarterback combine athleticism with efficiency like Lamar. You want to set Truth Bearer off? Jalen Hurts is better than Lamar Jackson. Joe Burrow is better than Lamar Jackson. Look what McNabb had to go against in that era. It was tough. Well, it was also a defensive era. There was such an emphasis on defense. I do think that's one of Colin's best takes about how someone like an Andy Reid, his true greatness in that defensive era was never really able to flourish until later. And again, Tom Brady echoes that by saying, I'm making throws now that I would never have made earlier on in my career. And if Tom Brady's saying that, like, that, you know, he's literally saying, like, I'm making different throws now. It's got to count for something. Julian, start, bench, or cut. What era are we talking about, though? Brady, Mahomes, Montana? And we're talking about all 3 of them in their prime? And what year is it? Is it 2000? Is it 2025? Like, if Tom Brady was in his prime right now, would he, in this hypermobile era, would he be the best quarterback in the NFL? Or would people say, he's a statue. He can't really move. Look how slow he is when the pressure gets to him. Do you think the emphasis on mobile quarterback means there will never be another Brady, Rodgers? Well, so Rodgers was a lot more mobile than you'd maybe think. But yeah, that's the thing. I just think that those quarterbacks will never be trained anymore. They'll never be coached or learn how to play football without having some sort of mobility. I think the least amount of mobility we'll ever have will be like a Brock Purdy or something. That'll be like the floor of mobility. I don't think everyone's going to be Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Mahomes and stuff, but the floor. Brady would beast in 25. With that quick release and quick pass screen game, defenses wouldn't even be able to get to him. And the deep shots open in the intermediate. Yeah, you've really got to go back to what's it called? Got to go back and watch highlights of prime Tom Brady. I'd like to actually just watch a regular game of Tom Brady, because even when you watch highlights, that gets too, like I always say, you can watch highlights of Gardner Minshew and you're going to be like, that bro can play. I really just want to watch like a regular Tom Brady game, see what it looks like. Yeah, Steve Young never gets a lot of credit for being a mobile quarterback. And no more 3-5-5-7 drop pass action with your back to the defense. Brady would see every defense so much easier, and the middle would be so open. Well, so that's the thing too, right? Tom Brady, with this new era of offense and defenses, was near the end of his career. He never got to play in his prime, being able to pick apart defenses. Just think about the quality of wide receivers right now and tight end play that you're getting right now. Good night, Astro. I appreciate that about my dad. Yes, so far, so good. Keep on keeping on. So thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, I made the question better. Who would you take in their prime to beat the 85 Bears? Montana, Brady, Mahomes. I'm taking Tom Brady. Who's my personal MVP frontrunner right now? I think that's such a difficult question. I think Drake May has an argument. Jalen Hurts has an argument. Justin Herbert has an argument. Sam Darnold has an argument. Christian McCaffrey has a huge argument. I don't think Christian McCaffrey is getting enough credit. What do you think Tom Brady would have looked like with Andy Reid? Stafford has been playing unbelievable, has been playing awesome and great and amazing. I don't think he's been an MVP. He's been putting up great numbers. There's a difference between putting up big numbers and being the MVP. And just because you have huge numbers by blowing out bad teams, that doesn't make me doesn't make you the MVP. Jalen Hurts has had to step up in bigger moments with the Philadelphia Eagles than Matthew Stafford has with the Los Angeles Rams. It's just the case. Christian McCaffrey has had to do more work for his team to lead them to a victory than Matthew Stafford. Just the way I see it. Matthew Stafford's numbers right now are huge. He torched the Jags, the Titans. And again, it's not to say that not to say that other players don't boost their stats up with playing bad teams. And so it's totally fair to point out other quarterbacks doing that. But I think both things can be true. You can have a quarterback who's playing elite, who's playing great, who's playing awesome, who's at the top of his game, Matthew Stafford, and it still not be the MVP. Just the way I view it. I'm very confident that Patrick Mahomes should not be the MVP. I've been banging that drum. And I think Patrick Mahomes has been doing more than Matthew Stafford, personally. Yeah, I think that's why I made all those Justin Herbert videos, because we are not impressed enough with what Justin Herbert has been doing with that O-line and just the mess of a team. We are not giving that enough credit at all. And it's funny because I made another video about that posting on Friday. Go figure. I actually kind of have two Justin Herbert videos posting tomorrow. One is more centered around Mahomes, that I just so happen to use Justin Herbert as a reference point. And then I think another one is Justin Herbert centric. Let me see. What do I got here? Yeah, I do. I have a separate one. Justin Herbert. Nick Wright trolls Justin Herbert again. Yeah, I got 2 Justin Herbert videos posted tomorrow. But they're short. Tomorrow, I'm posting a bunch of videos that are like 4 or 5 minutes long to see how people like shorter videos. Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate it. Tom Brady would have had 10 rings. Thankfully, the Eagles and Giants said no. It's true. They did rob him of 3 rings. Did someone say Mahomes? About what? I hate MVP conversations because non-quarterbacks constantly get scrubbed. I know. That's what makes it not fun. That's what I'm saying. Like, Christian McCaffrey deserves a ton of credit. I think Bo Nix will eventually be really good. Yeah, I think I liked what Kurt Warner said, where he's like, you have to understand that these younger quarterbacks still have plenty of room to grow and are allowed to struggle. And I really agree with that. Like, Saquon Barkley was never really considered MVP. I mean, in hindsight, who was more the MVP, Josh Allen or Saquon Barkley? No, Julian, I like the format you do your videos now. I don't think you'll be able to analyze as much as you want in 4 or 5 minutes when listening to clips. It's true. I agree. I prefer the long ones. I struggle with short. What I might do is post a bunch of videos on Friday that are short, 4, 5, 6 minutes, and just so I can get videos out on Friday. But I do prefer the long ones. But I go on. I talk for 15, 20 plus minutes. But I did want to see what some of these. I was trying to make a couple videos. Look, this is how much I struggle to not talk. I wanted to make a couple videos that were like 2 minutes long, just to see, and I couldn't do it. I got 3 minutes 56, 4 minutes 18, 4 minutes, 4 minutes 26, 5 minutes, 6 minutes and 37 seconds. I made a video 6 minutes and 37 seconds when I said I'm trying to make a video no longer than 4 minutes. I still couldn't do it. The problem is that with anytime you take away a quarterback, you're always going to have a huge drop. Like, that's the truth, Barrett. Again, you had Cooper Rush. What happens if you take away Lamar Jackson from the Ravens and give him Josh Allen? What happens? Are you below 500? I don't think so. Did you see Trey Lance play preseason? He should be a starter next year. He played well. He had a great game with the Chargers. I was happy for him. He could get another chance. That's what we're seeing with all these other quarterbacks, obviously. In 2022, when Jalen Hurts went down, the Eagles could not win a game without him. So that means Jalen Hurts is the real MVP, right? That's your argument. They could not win. He had to come back hurt to go beat, I think, the Giants to ensure they got the 1 seed. Well, I just wish they can keep Herbert upright. Lamar is much closer to catching Mahomes than Josh. Come on, man. Why you got to make me laugh right now? Come on. I've gotten in so many battles with Truth Bearer over Lamar and Josh Allen. I don't mean to brag, but I cook. Lamar this time next year could be in the position to overtake Mahomes as the best quarterback of his era. It's not possible. Jalen Hurts is closer to Mahomes. In order to be the best quarterback of the era, you got to win rings. You got to go to multiple Super Bowls. I like the Ravens, but I don't see them climbing back this season. So I guess before I kept thinking that they have to win every single game. But I guess technically, mathematically, they can probably lose 1 or 2 more games. So it does give them some wiggle room. I mean, that really is such a bummer for the Chargers. Obviously, you're a Broncos fan, so there's no tears shed there. Yes, Edgar, Nick is definitely going to rip the Broncos. No doubt about it. But the Chargers would be such a good team with Justin Herbert right now. No, he's never had a team and a coach with any level of consistency. If Lamar ran the table, that could have all 4 pros, 3 MVPs, and a ring. Listen, you think Lamar Jackson's about to run the table, get an all-pro, MVP, and win the Super Bowl all this year? I love your hope and optimism. Justin Herbert is elite. He is legit. Lamar would be better off with the other Harbaugh as head coach. I agree with that completely. You're delusional if you think Ravens will miss the playoffs if Lamar is healthy. Lamar is healthy right now. It's not a matter of being delusional. It's a matter of, is there enough games for him to catch up? I love Lamar, but some of the greatest quarterbacks ever don't win big. It's sad, but we'll see. Well, so mathematically, Nick made it sound that the Ravens can't get the wild card if the Steelers run away with the division. That the only way they can get in is if they win the division. You'd have to look at the math. Are the Chargers going to fall out of the playoffs? The Jags fall out of the playoffs? Do the Chiefs keep winning? So I think the wild card is still there. You'd have to look at the Jags schedule. You have to see if the Chargers can still stay alive. Do the Broncos collapse? The Broncos haven't been playing great. Are they able to survive winning games like this, or do they start dropping games to the Chiefs? Right? Do they drop games? Not to say that the Broncos fall out of the playoffs, but do they start giving away? Do they give wins to the Chargers, or do they beat the Chargers? Do they beat the Chiefs? All of that matters for the Ravens at this point. Well, that's what I mean. I don't mean that they'll catch the Broncos. It's just a matter of giving wins to other teams. If we look at the standings now. It's always tough to try to predict if it's 10 wins, 11 wins. Can you get in there with 9 wins? I mean, you got the Patriots and the Bills, 7 wins and 6 wins. I mean, that's got to be 2 guaranteed playoff teams. You got the Colts with 7 wins, got to be a guaranteed playoff team. And then you have the Jags at 5. That's where we start to get in this tricky territory. The Jags have 5. The Steelers have 5. The Ravens have 3. The Broncos got 8. The Chargers have 6. And the Chiefs have 5. So it's do the Jags keep winning? If the Jags and the Chargers keep winning, then the Chiefs don't make the playoffs. It's that simple. If the Jags start to slip and the Chargers fall off a cliff, they're in trouble. But if the Broncos, like, they're in this weird situation, because again, it's almost, I made a video where I talked about that. It's almost to a degree better in some sense if the Broncos lose to the Chargers. And I think the Broncos play the Jags as well. If they lose to the Jags, because then that hurts the Chiefs. So that's what I'm saying. The Broncos could drop a game to the Jags, and it actually helps. It actually hurts the Chiefs. Like, it would be, yeah. I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty hard to really see how this is all going to pan out, honestly. Also, right now, the way how the buys are, everyone has such a separation with the buys. It's like hard to keep trying to do the math to figure out where you're like, okay, the Steelers are only 5-3. That's 8 games, but the Colts have 9 games. The Jags have 8 games. The Broncos have 10 games now, obviously, because they played on Thursday. Both the Chargers and the Chiefs have 9 games. The Bills only have 8 games, but the Patriots have 9 games. Like, would the Broncos do that? It's interesting. I forget when they actually play them. If it was the last game of the season, it would be easier for the Broncos to maybe actually consider that, but it's not the last game of the season that the Broncos play. But if the Broncos kind of keep winning, then they're actually in contention for the number 1 seed in a bye. They're not going to lose just to keep the Chiefs out of the playoffs. But they play the Jags on the December 21st. So, and you still have the Chiefs and then the Broncos. You still have 2 more weeks after that. So they would never let them win, but it could be an actual silver lining if they lose. And if you are a Broncos fan, a part of you might be like, again, you're like, maybe I want the Broncos to lose this game and then beat the Chiefs on the road, right? Like you could. What could be the interesting thing is the final game against the Chargers, because maybe it comes down to the Chargers and the Chiefs. And then you're kind of like, if the Broncos lose to the Chargers, then maybe then the Chiefs, then the Chargers get into the playoffs and the Chiefs, like it could be one of those situations. Like that is a very real situation that could happen. So I don't know. Like I would be for that. Could you imagine if the Chiefs' playoff hopes came down to the Chargers-Broncos game? And Nick is now praying that the Broncos beat the Chargers. And the Broncos are like, nah, we're just going to sit everyone. It's all good. Hey, you did it. You did it against us, so we're okay. I actually think that would be hilarious. I want the Chiefs to have to come up the Mile High. For the playoffs, you're saying? Well, if the Chiefs get into the playoffs, it would most likely be the 7 or 6 seed. And if that's the case, then yeah, if you're the 2 seed, you could play them first round. Because the offense with Lamar is 30-plus points. If Ravens improvement on D, Josh Allen would be this era's Marino. Nick would pray for the Chargers before the Broncos. I don't know. To not make the playoffs, though, I feel like the Broncos do really well against the Chiefs, and the Chargers are harder for them to beat. So that's why it's going to be interesting, because the Broncos have had a crazy season. And so that's why it will be interesting to see. Goodell would send a warning letter to the Broncos. Yeah, I know. The refs would really be pulling something out. False start. No one moved. Offsides. What? We're not even on the field yet. 15-yard penalty. Safety. What? We're kicking a field goal right now. We legitimately could have a situation there where it comes down to that final game. Like, absolutely, positively. It could genuinely come down to that. Where it's like, Chargers win, they're in. They lose, Chiefs are in. I mean, that's what happened last year with a lot of teams. It's happened a lot over the years, obviously. It happened with like 7 different teams last year in the AFC and the NFC. You couldn't even figure out what the heck this was all going to look like. You had the Seattle Seahawks, the Rams, the Broncos, the Bengals, the Dolphins. Like it was all over the place. But yeah, the standings are interesting. I think we're still too far out to try to be able to predict with any degree of success because we're still trying to predict, well, the Broncos should beat the Jags, and well, the Broncos might split with the Chiefs. Like you're still too far out. I mean, the Jags are 5-3. And their schedule, they play the Colts, they play the Titans, the Cardinals. Right now, the Cardinals are feisty. They're playing the Chargers, the Colts, the Jets. Jets are obviously awful. They do have the Colts twice. They have the Titans. They have the Titans twice. Yeah, they have the Titans twice. So that should be 3 wins right there. They should beat the Titans twice. They should beat the Jets. That's another 3 wins. That gives them 8 right there. And then the Cardinals is a toss-up game. The Colts, those games are a toss-up. Texans is a toss-up. And the Chargers are a toss-up. So I could see them losing a bunch of games. And now the Chiefs are just firmly there. I cover every team. Yeah, but will the Chargers be healthy? It feels like Chiefs-Bills playoff matchup is inevitable. We will see. Who is top 5? Who's your top 5 of all time? I don't have that answer. Honestly, I don't have that answer. Lamar has nobody to blame but himself if he allows Harbaugh to sabotage him another decade. Who are you hiring? Bills Chief wildcard round game would be fun. Could you imagine? Well, I think you'll probably like my Eagles content. I can say that. Travis, do you think the Kansas City Chiefs make the playoffs this year? What do you think not making the playoffs would do for Mahomes' legacy? And what do you think if they make the playoffs and lose in the wild card? Patrick Mahomes going home, round 1. Bye-bye GOAT conversation? That is a tough fall. What? Oh, there it is. Well, that's the thing. If they miss the playoffs, then they could use that excuse. But if they make the playoffs with Worthy and Rice, then they're in the playoffs. But if they lose now first round, like if they lost to the New England Patriots or something, he's done so much, missing a year isn't bad. If he missed the next 2-3 years, well then, yeah, if he misses 2-3 years, for sure. But what if he lost to the Colts? What if he lost to Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts? That bubble definitely popped in that Super Bowl in terms of that invincibility. Yeah, I think his legacy has been cemented, but his aura, his current aura would hurt. Yeah, and people downplay Tom Brady. Never forget. But Joe Flacco has better standing than has a higher standing than Daniel Jones. Here's another question. Do we think the Chiefs would playoff games if they got there? Do you think the Chiefs would playoff games if they got there? What do you mean? Yeah, the aura, the vibes. The vibes would take a hit. His aura went down after getting sacked 6 times and throwing interceptions and fumbling. The Eagles definitely did a number on him. Would the Chiefs win playoff games if they got there? I think it's obviously on the table. It is Mahomes and Andy and Spags and the Chiefs. And Kelsey's going to be, trying to bring it up. Trevor Lawrence out clutching him while falling down. That was such a crazy game. That was one of the craziest game-winning drives I've ever witnessed. I mean, Mahomes lost some aura against the Buffalo Bills on Sunday. If he lost, the whole point about Mahomes was that he was supposed to be this like invincible, infallible, like he just does not lose. He always is perfect. That has always been the narrative around Patrick Mahomes, that he is truly unstoppable. And then you start to see him get stopped. You start to see him look bad or just average, and you're just like, what is this? I agree, Travis. It's all about staying healthy with good teams because a couple injuries can destroy it. It's true. Bills beat Chiefs in regular season all time, though. We can't bury them until they lose in the playoffs before the AFC Championship game. Well, that's the thing, right? If the Chiefs get to the AFC Championship game but lose, it'll still be like 15 AFC Championship games in a row, 90 Super Bowls. I don't think Patrick Mahomes lost that invincibility. I think everyone just said he had no O-line. What do you want him to do? I think people defended that, actually. Well, their advantage over all the other AFC teams are specifically they have such a massive coaching advantage. It's not even close. And on both sides of the ball. I think it only goes to Josh if Josh wins a Super Bowl. Let's say Mahomes doesn't go to the AFC Championship game, but Josh Allen does, but he loses, or he gets to the Super Bowl and loses. I don't know if Josh Allen claims that. I think Josh Allen only claims that if he wins a Super Bowl. Bo had some happy feet today. They pointed that out on the broadcast. You think Mahomes is getting to 7? Yeah, but what if Josh? Well, yeah, okay. Josh still would be 1-4 versus Mahomes in the playoffs. You can't use playoff record, truth bearer. If you want to talk about playoff record, Lamar Jackson is in trouble. Yeah, I don't know about that, buddy. Well, the Chiefs have definitely benefited from pretty suspect moves in the AFC. For sure. The offense was all out of sorts for the Broncos today. Well, again, under Truth Bearer's logic, right? Jalen Hurts actually beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. So I guess he's closer. I guess he's closer to Mahomes than Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Broncos could be 10-0 or 1-9 right now. Julian, would you think Sean Payne and Andy being a wash and Spags and Van Joseph being a wash would be arguable come next week? No, I would not. I truly believe Andy Reid is the greatest coach of all time. I do not see that as a coaching wash at all. I guess 2-8 technically because the Bills and the Bengals. Now that's what Colin Cowherd was saying. Colin Cowherd said Harbaugh and Herbert are the greatest coach quarterback duo of all time. I forget what he was saying, what his argument was. In 10 years? Are you answering what I asked that when I asked that question like an hour ago? I was very upset with the Jaden injury. Jalen Hurts isn't more reliant on his legs. His dislocation. Sean Payton, you're talking about? I don't know how. Remember the Broncos only have so much wiggle room to work with because of their salary cap situation. For years now, you wouldn't want Jalen over Allen Lamar Mahomes, though. Hurts uses his legs a lot. He squats massive to prepare with those legs. He's not as good of a passer. All right. I got to get going because I got to go eat, then I got to go to sleep, and then I got to go make videos. You guys are out here still debating Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. Truth Bearer is consistent. Good night. Thank you all for coming by. I'm gonna go eat. Apparently the Dolphins didn't want to really part with him, with Waddle. I gotta eat my final meal. I don't really eat like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I just eat like meal 1, meal 2. I really only just eat 2 meals a day. It's usually just like meat and rice. I don't eat breakfast or anything like that. Thank you, Young Conqueror. I appreciate it. Good night, everyone. I will see you all in the comments tomorrow.